We are live.
Oh, we are live.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So,
There's a whole
There's
bunch
a
of
lag.
fucking lag.
yes. There's a
I just tweeted you out and shared it on my community tab, so hopefully we could get some more people in.
Oh, thank
Mind
you.
you, all of your friends are my friends, so I don't. like,
Hello
Hello.
and welcome. Unfortunately.
Talking of that, Lucy, do I actually follow you on Twitter?
Oh, we're talking. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
They were trying to introduce their stream, like
Productions.
they're trying
Yeah, I
to
know.
introduce their stream.
Okay. We can.
Oh yeah, I do follow you, Lucy.
We are gathered here today.
Oh, shut the fuck up now.
The Angie house. A tornado decided to take it. Stupid ass tornado. So we're trying to help raise a bit of money, and I think we may have killed Lucy. So who have you invited to the party?
To the party, we have Jen's little corner,
Yes, right up there.
Hi.
and we have the famous Lucy Luxor.
Ooh.
Hello, everybody! I'm sitting on the floor.
She was
Yes.
rolling on the floor laughing, literally. So, but what have we got also?
Have we got some?
Yes, because we are in this room here with a table. So that means that we probably should build something. Or I will build something and Linda can entertain the guests.
Oh.
We have this one. We have this one. We have the International Space Station. So we're going into low Earth orbit on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a little bit for Robert because he loves the space stuff, and so do we. So Robert is getting a little something today.
Well, I would have got my vote too. I love space,
Oh,
math, science, all that shit.
also for me. Oh no, I need something.
Oh,
Space is awesome. I loved it when we went to the moon.
Sellotape. I think I might be able to do it.
I wish I was that old. I don't wish I was that old, but I wish I could. I wish I had the memory of it actually happening when it happened. That would be just one of those really cool things.
Shaking up the table.
When you hear someone like Diana talking about it, that she remembers when it happened, and like, yeah, to get caught up in that moment would have been pretty awesome.
Cool. That's a nice box.
But who knows? We might have the memory of the first people who go to Mars.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
We might.
I'd say we almost certainly have the memory of the first people who lived for prolonged periods of time on the moon. So when we return to the moon and actually build proper bases. So that'll be interesting.
You can be quiet with me.
No, these bags are not quiet.
Impossible.
Not quiet.
Hey, HubSpot.
Mr.
How
HubSpot.
you doing?
Welcome. If you want to join, you can.
Yeah.
Anytime. I hope I'm not stepping out of boundaries. It is your channel. But there's a lot of...
Hubs is always welcome. Oh, there's a history like bunker.
we have a lot of...
So how many pieces are in this set?
What did you say, Jim?
How many pieces are in this Lego set?
This one, I don't think it says on this one. I don't remember.
No, it's ideas.
Yeah, on ideas it doesn't say in Denmark.
Oh,
But
oh,
it
should I look it up?
Yeah, you can easily look it up quickly.
The number?
I thought they did. They're a bit like jigsaw puzzles because, it kind of is a puzzle.
Yes. They're not very good at doing it in Denmark with putting numbers on it.
Ah, okay.
But it does, they say on Lego Creator, there it
Hey,
says-
Hopswatch.
Oh, here we go. Oh, so that's, okay. Got it. Let me bet. Oh, this is not good. I'm going to have a little thing to put stuff on right down there.
Oh my. They do.
Putting it in order. Oh, is that? That must be. Oh, the bag number 6. Okay, there's
All right.
6 bags. We forgot to look it up.
International Space.
We had to get it together pretty quickly.
Oh, what's the
I can't type.
I just tried to send some money to this, and it's not working. So
Really?
do I need like an email address or something?
Ooh.
So, there we go. First bag.
Lucy, the link from your Twitter account to your YouTube page doesn't work.
Yeah, because.
Here we go.
864 pieces. That's what it is. Here are the little bitty
I'll
astronauts.
look into that, see if
Oh,
things going on.
tiny.
That's
I'll see if I can get it working a different way, but yeah, come up with an error.
It's
Cheers.
Far out. All right. All right. So it's still there, but it's just the link not working. And how am I not even subscribed to you? How does that work? God damn you, YouTube and Twitter.
The bill, Jen?
Well, I was following you on Twitter. How was I not subscribed?
No hopscotch. Screen. No. Although he would be welcome to join.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you gotten the link out in the chat?
Okay, there?
Hmm?
Nope.
Well, you can screen who comes in anyway, so it's not a problem.
Oh, I can't type.
It's panels.
Oh, I can do it here.
Oh, those are some nice solar panels. Printed pieces. Nice.
Yes.
Just in case, you never know what hopscotch wants to join.
I'm playing roulette. Whee.
Chat roulette. Well, there are a couple of seats.
All right, let's pop the chat back up and boom. There we go. And there's, because we have no other people doing the whole Shelley thing.
I don't know how to do this now.
Yeah. And of course, we need to shill Angie, even though she's not here, because it's all about her.
Yeah.
I might have already done Angie, but that's okay. She can have a double dose.
Can someone put the PayPal link in so that I can...
I will grab that again for you. Give me a second.
I've got it now. Cheers.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
I will send it again anyway, so that people don't have to scroll through. There is the link to the GoFundMe, not GoFundMe, the PayPal link for Angie's thing. We're not exactly sure what it was up to. It was at nearly 17k when I took over with my stream earlier, and then I went for 3 hours. So there's a good chance we're up around 18, 19, pushing close to that 2k, which is fucking amazing. Our community is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to describe it. And I love you all.
I love you too. But I'm concentrating.
Yeah.
There we go. I've just donated.
What does it say it's up to?
Go to summary, I guess.
Yep.
Oh no, that just gives me my stuff. I don't know.
Your summary. Okay, it's probably not going to tell you. We probably need Angie to know what it's up to.
Mm.
Oh well. Yeah. It should be able to be set up so that it actually tells people what it's up to when they first log in, which would be kind of nice. But
might that be because it's
of course we don't want to harass Angie because she's got enough problems as it is.
Who's that?
Nacho!
Hello.
Oh, we got
How you are, my lovely.
Nadia. You came.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, I decided to pop in, even though I'm like probably too buggered for it, but I guess.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah, it's really good to see you.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I don't really often
nice
see me
to
either.
see- Yeah, it's nice to hear you then.
This is what
So what's happening with Angie right now? Like, where is she going to stay? What's going to happen?
They've got a camper van, so like a large caravan thing with a big an annex, I believe, and it's set up, and the 5 of them are staying in that. I don't. Is it on their own property, Linda, or not?
What?
The camper that Angie and her family are staying in, is it on their property, or are they staying at friends?
I guess it's their own camper, I guess.
It's their own camper? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing at the moment. But I mean, that's really just a stopgap solution
Yeah.
for them. Hopefully something bigger and better can be done for them in the short term, and that's going to depend a lot on the insurance company and that. So I mean, and like we said, there's every chance the insurance company is going to turn around and go, act of God.
Yeah.
You know, we are talking about America here, and the protections for people over there are shit. I'm just hoping they don't do that, and that Angie gets her full insurance payout on this, because I mean, as lovely as our community are, we can't fundraise her an entire house.
Yes. It'd be great if we could.
But hopefully what we do manage to fundraise is going to be enough to tide her over until she gets something back from the insurance company, and will help cover some of the excess costs that she will cop from this, because that will definitely happen. There'll definitely be an element of stuff that she has to pay for out of this. So
Oh my God, Lucy.
so yeah. So to anyone in the chat who hasn't donated already, if you've got it, if you have got it, and please bear in mind, only donate if you have the money spare to donate. At the moment, there are so many important things on all of us, so much pressures because of what's happening with this damn stupid virus and everything else. If you can't afford to donate, do not donate. Help in other ways. Tweet out the streams. Offer your support to Angie, even if it's just a verbal support with saying hugs to Angie. And just be there and be supportive. If you do have a little bit of spare change, if you do have a little bit of spare change, please try and send it Angie's way. With what's happened, they're going to be in dire straits for a little while. So any support that we can give as a community, and we have given hugely. I'm not asking people who've already donated to donate more. It's like, as a community, we have done amazingly well. But if there's anyone new who doesn't know what's going on, wants to be able to help, the links have been put in. I will post it again. It's also scrolling underneath.
Yep.
There's the PayPal link. So what's happened, for anybody who doesn't know, there was a tornado that went through the town where Angie is, and it ripped up a tree, and that tree smacked across her house. Basically like taking a baseball bat to a model. It has absolutely decimated the house. It's going to need a complete rebuild. And thankfully, no one was injured. All 5 dwelling humans within were not injured. The pets were not injured. Even the fish, the great big fish tank that Angie had in her lounge room, despite things falling down all around it, survived completely intact, which is fucking amazing. And I'm quite sure somebody's going to say, oh, that's an act of God too. But screw them. They were very lucky that nobody was injured, and they've come through that all right. But that aside, they now have no home. They have got all the stress that is attached to having a disaster like this before you. And whatever we can do as a community to help her and her family through that is just amazing and wonderful. And you guys, the people who come along and view these videos, who become part of our lives as content creators, and who we love to bits, because without you, we wouldn't be doing this. You guys are amazing. What you have done to help support Angie so far is amazing. What I'm sure will happen in the future with supporting her is also fucking amazing. And we love you all.
Yes, Nag. Angie is the lady with the short grey hair that has the microphone, and we call her the Queen Mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's also an awesome singer.
Yeah. She did a duet with Nerdy.
Yeah.
Nacho, that is not your real voice.
Well, no. It's my usual one, though.
No, it's not. You don't sound like that in real life. There's no way.
No, as I said, no, but this is my usual Nacho voice.
He uses a voice changer for YouTube, even though it's not his real life voice, but it's his real YouTube voice.
Okay.
That's it.
Somebody obviously has never heard of me.
Never. Never.
Right.
Lucy, you're missing out on a treat. Notcha's amazing. Oh, talking of Notcha, I have not shielded you, Notcha.
Oh no!
Oh shit! How could you? It's
'Cause I haven't got you in my
forgivable,
list.
to be honest. Yeah, no, I mean it's forgivable. You know, although if I do need chilling, I've got a couple shows coming up that are like, or series that are coming up. That's why there's like not a lot actually on my channel recently, because I'm working my ass off to get some actual shows happening.
Oh,
So,
okay.
ooh, things happening. And I also just recorded a whole butt ton of 100-year-old JW propaganda vinyl records, which will be fun to work with.
Oh, that's
I had a
great.
project I was working on for the about
Spooky.
Hello, Spooky.
the Watchtower that I was going to have a talk to you about, Notcha, because I was wondering if you were interested in helping me out with it. So I'll have to. I started doing it before Christmas. That's how long ago I was thinking about it. I'll have to dig it up and see if you're interested in it. I spent ages downloading heaps of videos and clipping bits out.
Oh yeah, damn me, you know.
So yeah, I thought it'd be interesting because I thought it was freaking hilarious. So there's the link to Notcha. Here we go.
Yeah.
No problem.
That is one hell of a Lego set. I'm very
It
jealous.
is.
Like I'm very jealous.
I suggested earlier to Linda and Morton that we should do a stream where we all get Lego sets out and everybody makes their Lego set. They're like,
Well,
I the problem is nobody be able to watch you do yours, don't you?
not only that, is that I've already created something really awesome with literally almost all of my Lego, and I have a lot of Lego. Like I have a like a 1.5 meter long semi-trailer truck, fucking with everything on it that you could imagine that you can make in like random Lego bulk pieces.
Cool.
And it just tends to be where I get more Lego, it grows bigger. You know, like I've gotten to the extent of all the weird things I could have created with it, and now this is just seeing it's like to create something new, I would have to destroy this massive thing. Like,
Or buy
I'll
new
do it
Lego.
one day, but yeah, I know, but that's going to be really like I went through spending hundreds of dollars already. Like, I don't have the money at the moment.
That's good.
I wish I did.
No, I mean, who does at the moment with what's going on? That's the thing. That's what's amazed me about the community. Angie has this thing happen. We reached out to the community on her behalf, and in less than a day, we're getting up close to that $2,000 mark. That just blows my mind.
That is
that shows the love that pours out from the community, and how much the community cares for each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's been a bit of a staple throughout anyway. You know,
it
whether
has.
it's donations or time or, you know, just whatever it may be, whatever a person can do that, you know, within this community, usually people try and do at least what they can do, you know, whether it be money or not.
I agree, which is why I said before, if you don't have the money, don't donate it. I mean, no, that sounds ridiculous, but don't cut yourself short for the month by donating if you can't afford to do it. Help in other ways. Shout out the streams, shout out the PayPal, shout out that this has happened to Angie and that she needs our help. Just by getting the message out there, you're helping.
Aware. Yeah.
Yeah, make people aware.
Mm.
So, yeah, that's kind of the important thing. And it just amazes me that every time something like this has happened, the community has rallied. The community has helped. And it says something about our community.
It does.
It really does. And despite all the little nuances and within it, the fact that we are such a diverse community and all have different opinions about different things, like Lucy and I arguing the other night about Harry Potter.
And I'd probably be the one arguing to stop talking about Harry Potter.
It wasn't an argument. In your opinion, it was an argument.
Well, I don't actually think it was an argument either. We just have a difference of opinion.
In your opinion.
But yeah, we can have those sort of things and we can still come together to do this sort of thing because we're better than the little differences that we have. I like to think that as a community, we are stronger than that, we are better than that, and we are here for each other when it counts.
Most definitely. Oh, hang on.
Wow.
Yeah. And we won't talk about Harry Potter again because we're not going to bring this stream down.
Or space travel.
What weird and wonderful things are we going to talk about?
We can't talk about space travel either because I trolled the chat yesterday and someone got really mad at me.
Oh, what? When we were talking about Star Wars?
No, it was yesterday on Dave's channel, and you were talking about like the pyramids and stuff, and I was in the chat trolling the shit out of you, and you were like, I'm gonna mute myself now. Can we? And then the other lady, Mama Atheist, was like, I need to slap some people in the chat, and you were like, I'm gonna mute me, and before you muted yourself, you went, fucking idiot, and then you muted yourself, and I was like, did you? Idiot? I was livid.
The whole thing is, Lucy, that we deal with idiots like that, people who actually believe that stuff all the time, and it just gets so frustrating when you're dealing with people. So if you're getting trolled from the middle of the chat, it's like, oh, fuck off! Don't do that to me.
The thing is, though, like with English humor, a lot of English people, if they know, they're going to get under your skin.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was doing.
Yeah, all you like. It was just the case that I knew where that was going. And had you just been trolling me, I probably would have been okay. But Amanda had copped a whole heap of it in the last week, and I knew she wasn't going to cope with it. So it would have been nicer if the chat hadn't done it. But that's the way it goes.
It wasn't the chat, it was me. So
it wasn't just you. Unless you're running 2 accounts.
I run 8. I don't really. I haven't got time for that.
It wasn't just you, is my point. It wasn't just you. And I knew that you were trolling us, but I don't know that the other person was.
Okay. I don't know. I can.
And that was more my point. I wasn't worried about you because I knew, you're just giving me shit. And that's fine because Lucy's allowed to give me shit. That's fine. But this person that I don't know in the chat is talking like it is all fake and doing the whole normal spiel that the people who believe all this stuff is fake do. And I'm like, are they for real or not? And if they're just trolling, why are they being such an ass about it? Because at least you can see that Lucy's having fun with it. This person is behaving seriously with it.
Hashtag kick Lucy. Spooky better. You love me.
Okay. No, Lucy's fun.
Spooky loves me. Yeah. I didn't even know what you're chatting about, Spooky.
Well, I think Spooky should come in here. He's got the link.
Yeah, Spooky, why don't you come in?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you
science,
the International Space Station, Johnny?
science denialism is one of those things that, yeah, I can't believe that people do it. It's like, what?
And people
Yeah.
saying
At least you weren't spouting flat earth stuff.
It's real. It's really real. There we go. Not just frozen. I think not just yet.
Can't afford.
Spooky.
You're probably right.
Hi, Santi.
Hey, something.
So anyway, I just want you all to see I donated $30.
Cool, Lucy.
That's all I can afford right now. So, but yeah, I have donated.
Yeah, I donated what I could afford earlier today. So it's like, as we say, we all do what we can do. We all help out. Those of us who are content creators donate what we can and give of our time for the rest. You know, being here and helping out and being part of these streams and keeping the conversation going and keeping the word out there is as much of an importance as digging deep in your pockets.
Remember to.
Why don't Americans build their houses out of bricks?
Reading it.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have learnt from the little pigs.
Oh. I wasn't reading it closely enough.
Somehow, I don't think it would actually have helped very much if, with what happened with Angie, you get a big tornado, pick up a tree, and smack your house with it. It's going to knock the bricks down.
Did they have like where was she when this was happening? Did they have like a basement or something? I mean, I don't know how like any of
I
it worked.
actually don't know. I didn't get a chance to ask Angie about that, so she was a little distracted, as you can probably get.
Yeah.
So. Faye might have more of an idea. She actually did get to speak to her earlier, but I don't know if Faye's still in the chat.
She had to lie down for a while, but she should be listening.
Oh, that's right. She was going to go and lie down, wasn't she? Aside from that, we'd need Julie here, and she's probably going to have a sleep considering she was up all night doing these. I mean, when I took over from her, I said, go to bed. And she stayed for my entire stream and then tried to start another one afterwards. So I'm like, yeah. It's like, sleep. We need to sleep. You can't just go forever. You've got to take a break.
Yes. There we go.
Santi says houses in the States are built from very cheap materials. I wouldn't have thought that was all the time, but yeah, I could imagine that some states probably have a lower requirement in their build qualities. There certainly seems to be some areas where the rules are a little bit more flexible than what we'd have in Australia. So,
No.
Contrary to popular belief, I am not swimming in cash. Just so everyone knows.
the only person who swims in cash is Scrooge, isn't it? Scrooge McDuck swims in cash.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your donation, Trainback. It's a donation is a donation. Like say, if you can't, like Jen says, sorry, if you can't donate, then share the stream out. You know, send Angie a good vibes tweet. Do whatever. Leave her a comment on one of her videos just to say hi, thinking of you, whatever.
If you're not subscribed.
There we are. Look,
Yep.
press the button.
Yep, and I will shoot Angie's link out again so people can do that if they're not already.
Hello, Doc Fearsome.
Hey, Doc.
There you go. I'm getting terribly affixed watching this Lego build, and it's
It's very
problematic
hypnotic, isn't it? To be able to have a conversation, I have to look away from it.
But I want to join. I'm so jealous.
Tell Mary she has to buy you a space station.
Yeah, buy me a space station, Maro. The real one.
What do you
not the
do
Lego.
with them
I mean, the
once you've
Lego one,
built
not the
them?
real one.
Put
What
them
do you-
on
Play
the
with
shelf.
them. Just put them on the shelf. No, play with them and then put them on the shelf.
Or in
The Saturn V one would be really cool to build.
Hang them.
hang them.
That would be fuck yes.
Yeah.
Wait, can I swear?
I want to do
I hope-
Hogwarts, but we're not allowed to talk about Harry Potter.
You can talk about that.
Yeah.
Now we can talk about Harry Potter. Just let's not argue about who's the hero and who isn't, and whether J.K. Rowling's a decent author or not. We'll just leave those topics out of it.
Yeah,
I managed to dodge the debate I was supposed to have. I was supposed to have a debate
With
with
Hissy.
somebody.
Pissy.
About Snape, and I dodged it. I managed to dodge it, so that was all good. I thought, I just can't. So I was going to write a whole essay on it.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Oh, look. I'm totally on
going
board
to
with the
just-
fact that
Yeah.
as far as being a book for teens, a book series for teens, it's a great story. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm going to disappear, guys. Thanks for having me there. I'm sorry I didn't stay long because I'm
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, it is
it's
heading
not
up
a happy
towards
puppy
11
and
o'clock
stay
for
away.
you.
You have to get your sleep.
Thank you,
about
Nacho.
10:30 and it's been a long week.
Bye, Nacho. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Nacho. Bye.
Oh, wait up. I got
I can't
one
get
for
my
you.
voice. I can't get my voice down that low, but I tried.
Oh, that's okay, sweetie. I forgive you.
Have a great one, y'all. Catch you around.
Bye, Nacho.
Bye bye. Again. It's a bye bye.
Oh, dear.
Huh? What
Ah.
have you done?
Do you want me to post the StreamYard link into Perp's group and see if anyone else wants to hop in?
Try it. Then.
Yeah.
Suppose.
Yep. All right. Where are we?
Already in the chat. if people scroll
I'm in
away.
Denmark.
Yes, me too.
There we go.
Is there one? There's one, is there?
Okay.
Oh
It's been linked out.
no, yeah,
Share like no shit. It should be there.
How long is it going to take you to build that?
Well, I don't know quite, but Simon Dan built one, and it took him about 1 hour and 40 minutes, and I'm kind of hoping I can beat him a little bit.
If you beat it, I will donate another $20.
Oh my god, now I'm
now the
Don't
pieces
break it.
stress.
Get a timer, quick!
It's supposed to be calming and not stressful. I don't know if I can. I think I've been
I'm
on-
joking. I don't want to put that on you.
You have been going for 33 minutes.
Oh well.
No, Dave's not doing his stream tonight. He was letting it go for this and the fact that he hurt his knee. So
Yeah. I'm counting.
which is why he's not joining us, is because he hurt his knee.
What day?
Now, what would be nice is if we could get Badger in here.
Oh yeah.
And I tried that earlier and he wasn't paying any attention. Well, he did eventually. He said he was asleep.
Think. Oh.
No, Lucy did not kick him in the knee. Jeez.
Lucy's not that evil.
He's not all of the time.
Me and Dave had a really interesting sexual conversation yesterday in
That
private.
happens.
He was sending me the different stages of him cooking a bacon sandwich, and I was all for it. It was very sexual. And I messaged Kaz and said, your boyfriend's sending me dirty pictures. And she was like, you two are such a pain in the ass. And he was sending me like the bacon laid out on the grill pan and it in the grill being cooked, and then the end product. It was amazing. I loved every second of it.
And it just made you want to eat bacon.
Yeah. Bacon's lush. Bacon's everything. Bacon is life. Just so everyone knows.
It has to be real.
Well, I suppose it's healthier than chocolate.
Mm.
Not by a lot, but it is healthier than chocolate.
I think it depends on which kind of chocolate.
Well, that's true. But yeah, I mean, you want some really nice milk Swedish chocolate, don't you? So
Swedish.
Some Milka or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Which Dave are you talking about?
Critical Cripple I was talking about.
He's hurt himself.
Wow, one of the dogs hurt him.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just messaged him and said, have you hurt yourself? And he said no.
Oh, well, he had hurt himself yesterday, was it? I assumed it was attached to him not feeling well. That was my assumption.
Technically, if the dogs hurt him, it was...
Yeah, the dogs hurt him, technically.
Oh, God, yeah, I forgot you lot are bloody pedantic, aren't you?
Putting stuff together again. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
How many pieces has this thing got that you're building?
Was it 800?
I asked that and they don't know.
864.
You found it on the box.
No,
Brilliant.
No, found it on Lego's page.
Yet to look it up. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, well,
That's
we
a
didn't,
decent sized puzzle, really.
Short notice, we didn't have our research done. That's what happens.
It doesn't matter. It's all a bit of fun.
You know. So where's
What?
those ones?
Uh-huh.
I have them right here. So there's a lot of fiddly bits on this one, and it's gonna get worse and worse as you go along, as far as I recall. Third.
Yeah.
That's the fun part when it gets fiddly.
They're dogs, Robert X, that they've got really, 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 really thick skulls.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get run into by your dog, the dog just walks off and it's fine. And you're standing there holding on to your shin or whatever it ran into going,
The dog is like,
ow.
what happened?
Yeah, the dog's left and you can't walk.
Well, that's a fact.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Even with little dogs, it's amazing.
Head on our table. That's just, whoa.
Yeah.
Go and pee.
Oh, that's why.
Let's go and pee.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we can manage
Oh,
for a while,
down there.
maybe.
Woo.
I'm just gonna be building on and on and on,
Okay.
and you're gonna probably be back. You can bring some beer too.
Trump is a dog because he's got a thick skull.
Interesting. Yes, here we go. Oh, so has Trump. Yes.
How much does a Lego thing like that cost?
Oh, I will have to calculate that because, or recalculate or something. You know, what's it called? Because we do pay Danish crowns for it. So I don't know. I don't know in pounds and dollars. I don't actually remember how much we paid for this one. It wasn't that much, actually, I think.
See, well, if I was going to buy the Saturn 5, it would cost me 149 Australian dollars. So
I'll have Linda on it in a second or two, and she can figure it out. But the prices are kind of different all around the world.
yeah,
Lego is a bit expensive.
Robert X says, Jen and Lucy have taken over the channel, beginning to see a pattern here. I can sit here and be quiet if you want. I don't mind.
yeah. Anyway, the whole point is that Morton and Linda are busy building, and we're keeping up the conversation.
Can you figure out how much we paid for this one?
What?
Can you figure out how much this one actually cost? Because I don't remember. And
You know, we can keep track of the chat for them because we're not actually building something.
in
euros?
you can do that too.
Yeah.
In euros,
And somebody has to say,
pounds.
sorry.
I was actually like invited as well, like officially invited to come up. Like, I'm sure if they didn't want me to talk, they wouldn't have invited me up.
True.
Exactly.
That's right.
I don't get this.
Okay, now I have to convert.
Oh, underneath.
Come at me, Robert X, with your next one.
Oh, did I? No. Flip. There we go. Yes.
Oh, he said, I didn't say that I mind. I'm beginning to see a pattern where you follow me around the internet, Robert X. But I'm not saying nothing.
What's that about, Santi?
Well, to be fair, you just did.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying nothing. I wouldn't have said anything if he hadn't said something.
It's right there, Santi.
I'll shout out Notch even though he's gone, and then I'll shout Angie, and I'll put the link to the fundraiser again for anyone who's into it. So remember, go follow Angie too, because it'd be a nice surprise for her if she suddenly had a whole heap of new subs. She might as well have something nice out of this. And if you can, and again, I'm going to highlight the can. Like, do not cut yourself short on funds for the month by doing it. If you can you have the spare cash for it, donate just a little bit to help the fund. But only if you've got it as spare cash. Please do not short fund yourself. But yeah.
So he already knows. Of course he knows. It's right there on the table.
Conversion.
Huh? Oh,
Yeah.
tried it.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it then?
Yeah, Doc, it's the ISS.
Everything you found.
It's 549 days.
Yes.
You should, like, rig a camera up so it's, like, near your hands so you could get a shot,
From
like a
above.
close-up shot. Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that a little difficult?
That's a bit difficult.
That'd be ideal if you were using OBS to stream from, because then you could swap cameras.
No.
No,
And
my laptop cannot handle OBS and StreamYard at the same time.
Ah, okay.
And we can't stream from my desktop because we don't have a table up there.
that's big enough. The
Yeah,
room is not that
Ah.
not at the
Tiny room.
moment, no.
big.
Technically, you don't have to be in the same room as the computer to stream from that computer.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you can connect to StreamYard from where you are with your cameras and everything, and then start streaming from the computer and remote control it from the tablet. So it is actually possible to do it. Oh, having said that, it's really complicated to do it, so I don't know it's something you'd actually want to do.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, eventually, when we get the rest of the room tidied up, we might be able to
fit something
set
up
up
there.
a table for Lego building.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean, the other option would be to just have multiplexed cameras so that you could swap between the cameras and still use StreamYards to stream. So
that could probably be a thing.
or just join StreamYards twice and have two cameras showing. So there's one for the in front and one from above.
That's also possible.
That's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
It sounds like
It does
the crude way to do it, but that's what I would do.
It does limit the number of guests you can have, but you can always drop one of the cameras out to bring somebody else in. So
Usually when we
totally doable
have guests,
either way around.
it's only when we have
But
some
yeah, there's lots of ways you could do it that would work. So
interesting. It's soda can tops.
So yeah.
Soda can.
Yes,
So
Okay.
have you actually finished sorting out all the pieces so that you've got them in their nice little piles ready to go?
I just do it one bag at a time. It's in bag.
One thing at a time.
I don't sort much. Usually works anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's the thing.
Are you talking about the horrible virusy thing that's screwing with our lives at the moment, Robert? That joyous little thing that's going around to everybody's houses and fucking them up.
Yeah.
Which I guess in the US could be the Republican Party, but
Goodness is right. It's almost the same thing. Oh well, what do we have? Where is it?
I don't know.
That's the one. It was right there, all along.
oh, definitely like and share the stream. That's how we get it out there so that more people can come and see what's happening, put in their support for Angie, whether it's financial or just emotional. It doesn't matter. It's all support. Just getting out the streams out there so that people know what's going on is just a big help all on its own.
Hole in that.
Oh,
Have a hole in this one. That's what we need.
you need a hole?
Yes, I needed a hole, and I got one without a hole.
Okay.
Look, a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Build a thing again.
Uh,
No idea. That's the fun part. You just build stuff, and then you have to put it aside, and then wait for about 2 hours, and then
Yeah.
bring it back in. And, that's what it is. So, yeah. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
send it in here as well.
Without the hole, and now I haven't. Yes, there it is.
What bit are you building at the moment?
A what? What?
I said, which bit of it are you building at the moment?
I don't know.
The center?
This looks like
Or is, yeah,
a long part of it.
it's the,
Yes. Well, you can have the point on the other side.
yeah. I guess it's
Yes.
it's that bit there.
The long bit.
Yeah.
Yes, I have built that, so I'm building something that needs to go onto the long bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really informative. I know. But we do have a hatch.
That's
It's very modular.
what's that?
It's good to have a hatch if you want to go in and out.
Mhm.
So I suppose this might be a docking port or something for the little shuttle. Could be. Looks like it. It's kind of hard to tell while you're building it. It needs to to put things together before you can actually tell.
Is it that one you're building?
Yes, I think
Oh,
that's the one. Yes.
okay. Oh, that it's there.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that must be the one. It looks like it. A lot.
Yeah. Send out a couple more
Oh, no.
links to people, so who knows who'll get in here if they come in.
If
We're capable of talking for everyone, aren't we, Lucy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much.
People get mad though because they're like, "Why are you talking so much?" So I just be quiet.
yeah, don't be
Nah,
quiet.
talk, Lucy. Talk. I mean, aside from the other day and a couple of times actually in typing chat, you and I haven't actually talked much. So,
What would you like to talk about?
well, let's skip Harry Potter.
Okay, so I see a Doctor Who TARDIS behind you.
Yeah.
How much of a fan are you?
Look. I grew up with the classic series, so I love the classic. Probably my favorite Doctor was Sylvester McCoy, and I know that's controversial to say that because a lot of people didn't like him. But he had my favorite companion of all time, which was Ace, because she was just fucking awesome. I like the new series. I've actually enjoyed most of the showrunners, even some of Chibnall's stuff. But his last 2 episodes of the last season were fucked up. So, as far as I'm concerned.
That's some first world problems right there.
But I mean, they're the guys in charge, the BBC's. It's a BBC show. What they will decide to do is what they decide to do with it. I'm just saying they were probably wrong.
Which Doctor did you say was your favourite? I'm just going to Google it so I can see.
Sylvester McCoy.
Sylvester McCoy. I love the name Sylvester.
Yeah.
You just don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I like the name Sylvester.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he would have been my favourite one too.
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, a lot of people will say Tom Baker with his scarf and everything, but I loved Sylvester McCoy. He was fun. He was fun in the same ways that Tom Baker was, without being that too over the top. And like I said, he had Ace as a companion, and who can beat a companion that beats a Dalek to death with a baseball bat? I mean, come on, she was fucking amazing, and her character was about the same age as I was at the time that she was as a companion, so I really identified with her. So,
what do you think of a female Doctor?
I think Jodie's actually doing a pretty good job of it. I think she's been let down a bit by some of the scripts, but that seems to be par for the course. For about the last 5 or 6 years of New Who. I mean, I've liked all the Doctors so far. I can't say there's any Doctor I hate. I have preferred certain Doctors over other ones, but there's been none I've hated. There have been stories that I really hate and directions that certain things have been taken that I don't like. But on the whole, I've really enjoyed all of Doctor Who. I don't like the way the story is currently going at the moment with Chibnall. His whole kill off the Time Lords again and the Doctor's no longer a Time Lord thing is just fucked up. But that's my opinion on it. Other people will have different opinions, and it's not being written for me. Even though I'm a fan from old, it's being written for the kids now. And it's being written for an American audience. So changing stuff up and making a difference is going to be something that happens. And provided this goes somewhere good and builds the story, I'll be okay with it. But to end a season on it, and knowing that I'm going to probably have to wait more than 12 months to find out where he's going with it, kind of pisses me off. Add to that, there's always the chance that if he's fucked it up bad enough that the response is bad, the BBC would shelve Doctor Who because of that, and that's even fucking worse.
I tend to find with like the episodes, like the more modern episodes, I tend to find like I get confused halfway through and then I just don't know what's happening. Like I can't follow the storyline. Like this last season, I started watching. I'm like, right, I'm gonna understand by the end. I'm gonna fucking understand, and then I get to the end and I'm like, no idea.
Yeah, I think they try to be too clever.
Yeah,
is part of the problem.
definitely. Yeah.
They try to make this convoluted storyline that Doctor Who's never needed in the past. I mean, even some of your big, long, winding arc stories in old Who, like The Key to Time and stuff like that, was never particularly complicated. They were easy enough to follow if you're in them. Probably one of the best stories of all time from Doctor Who is Genesis of the Daleks, and it's a long series, and it's brilliantly written and perfectly done out, and it even stands the test of time in that you can go back and watch it now and not feel like you're watching a piece of shit from the 80s or something, or 70s actually it was. It's a classic of Doctor Who, and yet even though it's such a long episode and that it's not something you can get lost in the story, it's something that, in the sense that you don't know what's going on, it is there and it's simple to follow. And I think the New Who's missing a lot of that. It tries to be too complicated. And when you're trying to write shows that are for kids and early teens, or just pre-teens and early teens, which is where Doctor Who's really aimed, I think you have to be a bit simpler than that.
I also preferred it when it was just Doctor Who and a sidekick. And now I feel like there's it's just a little gang of people running around.
I think that's a throwback to old Who, when you had the longer episodes, like Peter Davison had a crew of 3 in the TARDIS, and Hartnell did it a lot, but that was a lot to support him because he was so unwell. Even Troughton had a crew of 2 at one point. There's been a lot of times in Doctor Who's history where there's been this big group of companions, but they could do it in Classic Who because you had more time to develop the characters, because your episodes were effectively if you took out your top and tail of Doctor Who, a series story, which would be 4 episodes in old Who, worked out about the same time as 2 episode stories now. So you ended up with more time in a story to develop space for these characters. Whereas now, with a 45-minute show, you've got the case that by the time you get to the end of it, you haven't spent any time with the characters if you've got a crew of 3. There's 4 people you have to follow throughout the story. So either somebody misses out or you don't get any depth to the story.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with that, Lucy, but I think that's part of the problem, yes.
Yeah.
And it was even there when you had, God damn it, what's her name? And Rory.
I am listening.
Yeah, what was her damn it. Who was the companion? Matt Smith's first companion.
Amy Pond?
Aren't you?
Yeah, Amy, thank you. Amy Pond. Amelia Pond. Yes, Amy Pond. Even when you had Amy and Rory on the TARDIS, that was it was still hard to get full development of the characters, even in those stories. So I think a one-on-one companion Doctor thing with the occasion because it's fine if that's all you were dealing with, but then you have to deal with the new characters that are brought in each episode. And if you're developing those characters, you don't have time to develop the other characters and plot. So what suffers is usually plot at the moment.
Yeah.
So you end up with these stories that are very plot light, which is not a good thing for Doctor Who, but because the plots are what kind of drive the story in Doctor Who. They're not generally character driven. Although there's been a push to make more character-driven stories lately, I suppose. So whether that's a good or a bad thing, I don't know. It feels to me like Doctor Who should try to stick with the plot-driven stories because it seems to make more sense. We already know who the Doctor is. If we're constantly trying to find out new things about the Doctor or find out new things about companions over and above the story arc, then you're losing what's the underlying themes of Doctor Who is. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we agree on all that, Lucy.
I to be honest with you, I loved David Tennant and I loved Matt Smith and
Capaldi?
A little bit.
By the time
But-
Capaldi came around, the writing had shifted an awful lot towards that whole too much characters
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't watched. I've watched like 2 episodes of this series because I just lost it. I was like, I can't.
There are a couple of episodes in this series that of the New Doctor that have been absolutely awesome. I loved not last New Year's, but the New Year's before special with the Dalek, where it sort of had us ended up with a steampunk Dalek. I thought that was amazing. And it was the character arc in it was driven by the Dalek itself, so that was kind of cool. The characters, aside from the Doctor herself, that sort of took second fiddle to it, which worked really, really well. Probably one of the best written stories for that has been done with Jodie's Doctor. And there was an episode in this current season, the one with Nikola Tesla as a character, which I really kind of liked. But I kind of like those historical bent stories. I think they kind of work well. Most of the rest of the series has kind of been forgettable for me, apart from the end of it, but that's only because it pissed me off. So yeah, it remains to be seen whether I can stomach watching more of it if it's going to go in this direction. And it's sad for me to say that because I've stuck by it for so long and kept watching, and I'm like at the point now where I get it that there's other people who are going to be enjoying this, but if I'm not enjoying it, why am I putting my time into watching it?
Exactly, like you're just like forcing yourself to watch something, and it's
I mean, I'm happy to come back later if it changes around and it becomes more like what I'd prefer to watch. And I know that happens with Doctor. You get a change in showrunner, a new Doctor. The downside is I don't feel like I need a new Doctor. I'm happy with Jodie as the Doctor. I think she's okay in the role and she's coming across fine, but I'm not happy with the writing direction.
Yeah.
And that's a harder pill to swallow. You know, you can cope with a Doctor that you're not as attached to. But if the writing doesn't carry the show in that sense, you really got nothing.
Yeah. Also, like some of the people, it's not their fault because they're actors and it's their job. But some of the people that have been in it, like for instance, Bradley Walsh, he like hosts a quiz show every day in the UK called The Chase, and then there's other characters, like there was somebody from like Holby City in it the other week, which is somebody from a hospital show that I watch, and so I'm like, but you're in Holby City, and it's all a bit like I can't, and it just makes my brain go a bit weird.
There used to be this thing in Doctor Who where it was a chance to showcase little known British actors and actresses. And it seems to be now, let's get as many big names as we can grab.
Yeah, it's like when you watch like Inspector Morse or Miss Marple or Poirot or something like that. It always tends to be like the biggest star that they can get, and then they're the murderer. So you can always tell.
I think this is a problem with the BBC itself, actually. The BBC seems to have this attitude now that, we got to get the big stars in. We have to try and be, I don't know, because they're not even really being heavy leftist on anything. They're running a weird ass sort of middle line that we want to be progressive, but without actually being progressive. And they're doing it in such a way that is very alienating. I mean, if they're just going to say, we're going to make Doctor Who very, really progressive, well, fine, that's what you're going to do. But you're not actually doing that. You're being preachy and ridiculous, and it's not being appreciated. And there was an episode this season which would have been my favorite episode of the season, where they were stuck on this. They went to this, ended up on this pleasure planet, and by pleasure planet, it's like a holiday world. It's not a sex island, and it was really quite good. Right up, there was they discovered that this thing was all just the one sort of citadel that was built, and the rest of the place was an illusion, and outside of that was this wasteland. So it was a really shitty, horrible world that you couldn't really live on, and that was it. And it was all really good, and the story was going really, really good until they got right towards the end of it, where the reveal is, oh, this is Earth, and it ended up this way because of climate change. And I'm like, what's the point in that? It wasn't needed as part of the story. The story stood the time on its own, and then you just spent the last 8 minutes of the story being preachy about climate change. Good. Make a story about climate change, but tell it to us from the start, and don't throw it in the end of the story as a fucking preachy piece of shit. Because that just spoiled the entire story that was a really good story up until that point. You know, they tried to do a Planet of the Apes, and it fell flat.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's my thing. If you're going to try and make a clever story, actually be clever. But
Yeah.
it seems to be a problem in the direction of Doctor Who at the moment. So,
Broadchurch was actually filmed about 30 minutes from my house.
Oh,
cool.
And Good Omens was hilarious, Linda. I loved Good Omens.
I loved Good Omens as well. That was freaking amazing. I have the book and I haven't read it.
I have the book too.
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I'm a Terry Pratchett fan, and I have not read the book.
I have neither.
Yeah, but I love Terry Pratchett. Awesome author. Sadly missed. They're supposed to be making a movie series of the Tiffany Aching books.
I don't know them.
Of his, and I'm probably the only one who's read them. So, yeah. So it should be interesting if they actually get around to doing that. Rhianna Pratchett is involved with the production, so they've sort of been doing the scripts for it for about 4 years now.
Ooh.
So it should be really good if the project gets off the ground. But I think there was also an aspect that they may not do it as movies, and it may end up being a TV series like the ones that Sky did, where they adapted some of the other Discworld stories. So, but either way, I'd be really happy with either of those as an option, because I think it's a good set of stories of Pratchett's to do if you're going to do a set of stories. I don't see any point in trying to do the Discworld novels all from beginning to end. Just picking the odd ones out and doing them has seemed to work really well.
They're freaking awesome.
Oh, they are awesome. That's a brilliant set of stories, and it's sad that he's gone, and we're not going to get any more.
Yeah.
And you're definitely never going to get any more. The hard drive that he had that had all the bits and pieces of stories he was working on, because he didn't want anyone to take over his work. Rhianna took it to a field day wherever they lived in the UK, and had a tractor run over it. So all the odd bits and work that he'd been working on for other stories and that all gone. That no one can ever pick up the tendrils and continue the stories. And Rhianna's already said she won't have anyone else write stories that are part of the Discworld series. I mean, she's fine with fan fiction, but it's we're not going to have any more published works in the story. So what the canon we have is the canon we have, and that's it.
You and your noisy bed.
Yes, I have noisy bags. I'm sorry, but I have to get the bricks out. I can't build with the bricks in the bags.
Yeah, Linda, I noticed that you're a David Tennant fan. He is cute.
Yeah, he is.
I would dearly love to see because what is it now? Where hopefully when we get up to, we must be heading towards. When do we have that for? 2013. So what? We've got another 3-4 years till we hit the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who.
Okay.
I think it was 2012 or 2013. and we're 2020 now. So hopefully, when we get there, and hopefully it's still going, we end up with another multi-doctor story where you get Matt and David and
They're cool.
all the others back in, and it'd be nice.
Did you watch the documentary Terry Pratchett did on like his Alzheimer's and euthanasia?
Oh, I did. Yes. Yep.
Actually, one of the characters in Broadchurch is the new Doctor.
Yes. Yeah, that was where because Chibnall was a producer on Broadchurch, so that was where he met Jodie, and that's why he asked her.
Oh, okay. Oh, Toby.
Toby.
Yeah.
Two of these. Oh, okay.
Lucy, is your dog a crossbreed?
He's a German Shepherd.
Yes, a German Shepherd. Okay. I thought he looked like one, but I wasn't sure. Oh, he's cute.
He's very good looking, but he's a dickhead.
Okay. Isn't all dogs dickheads?
So, everyone's being a dickhead right now.
True. Terry Pratchett, I've always wanted to read his books. Always wanted to, but it's one of them things where you're like, which one do I read first? Which one do I read second?
No, I actually started with Sorcery because it's just a really, really good story on its own. It's about 4 or 5 books into the series, but yeah, you can read it standalone, and it's just a really good story.
I've just always felt a bit like intimidated, I guess, by it.
Stop.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, just sending a message to somebody.
I enjoyed Good Omens. That was good.
Yeah.
It was really freaking funny.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to reading the book.
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys, I'm gonna go because I've got to get Molly's bedroom ready. So
All right, Lucy.
it was great chatting. And
It was awesome, Lucy.
Coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Lucy. Now, you're alone.
No.
So how far we got? Because I've been mostly talking to Lucy and not paying attention.
It's okay.
Oh, that looks awesome.
I'll just stick this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's over here.
Okay.
I'll just stick it over here for now. Whew. Yes. Oh, it's actually coming together pretty well. The last bag has a lot of big pieces in it, so that should be snap. Famous last words.
Yep.
So this is the second to last bag of stuff that has to be put together painstakingly. This needs to go on top of that. Pointed it the right way, yes. It's a very important thing to have it pointing the right way.
Yes.
There we go. And this one. And this one. No. I need this. I need this. It's a little golden school thing. Supposed to go here. That's communication stuff. Or maybe it's the hologram projectors. That's what projects the moon. Yes. A new conspiracy theory. There you go. Run with it.
All right, it looks awesome. So how long? An hour and 14 minutes. So you haven't beaten the record then?
Have we been going for an hour? No, we haven't. It's only an hour and 14 minutes.
14. How long do you have How long did he take?
I have half an hour left.
Yeah, he took an hour and 40 minutes, did he? Okay.
Yes. An hour
Okay,
and 40.
cool.
Maybe that. Maybe even 40 something.
Mm.
I don't know quite know.
Ooh. It'll be interesting.
Well, if I don't, I'm gonna deal with it. It's not a problem.
Are you putting it in the right way?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm putting it in the right way.
Yeah.
Putting it in the
You have to put it in the right way.
The right way, yes. And not the wrong way.
No.
No, you might have to take over at one point because otherwise you're not gonna be if I have to take the dogs out.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it's only gonna be for a couple minutes, so you can probably just sort of break something or something. If you don't, it's fine.
Okay.
Then I'm just not gonna beat Mr. Simon. Probably I'm not anyway. It's fine. I don't mind losing to Simon then. That's perfectly in order. Oh. A hatch. Yes. A hatch. Got little hatches.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can
Relax.
see them.
Stop that, doggy.
I guess.
What?
So yeah.
Like this. Like gazoo. Oh. Just stole that, didn't I? And here we go. Got this one. I need that to be put on here. But maybe I should put this on first. Okay. I don't think it's a hatch. I just think it's some greebling because you're not gonna get in anywhere here.
Nope.
Greebling.
Put that back up. So, because I didn't post it before she left,
Oh,
I will now.
Lucy Link.
Anyone who, yes, Lucy had to go. Anyone who isn't subbed to Lucy, there's a link to her channel.
Thank you.
Here is the link to my channel. And here is the link to Notch's channel as well, even though he's also gone now. So for a while now.
So nice to stop by.
Here's the links. And for good measure at the end, we put up Angie's link. And if you're not subbed to Angie, why the hell not?
Yeah, why are you even here?
Why are you even here if you're not subbed to Angie?
Maybe you should actually put Dave's link up too, if you can find it quick.
Dave's? Critical Cripples?
Critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yep, I will find Dave's. I haven't got it copied in here, but where are we?
I'm busy. He's always is on top of that. He always shields everybody he can.
I learned something new today thanks to Jen.
Oh no, you learned something new. Damn it! What did you forget? Then something must have gone out since you learned something new.
I don't know.
Okay, what did you learn?
I learned that all the links for the YouTube channels you can just copy and put in a notepad.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you can note. Yeah, it's the easiest way to keep track of them, so you're not looking for them all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and then you can just add if you need to put more in. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I will. And here we go. Critical Cripple Dave's link is right there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So is this like this?
Go and talk to Dave and watch his critical questions.
Yeah, I'm all alone now, Robert. I'm not all alone. I'm here with Linda and Morton. I'm not alone.
No, but you're the only guest.
I am the only guest. And I know that kind of Lucy and I were sort of talking over you before. That's okay. We kept the chat entertained, talking about Doctor Who. I have strong opinions about the last couple of episodes of the last season, that's all.
This
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to concentrate.
But yeah, that normally at this time of night, Dave would be doing his critical questions, which is an awesomely fun stream. But of course, as I said, he's not well. Whether it's his knee, which was my assumption on my part, or something else, I don't know. He's not feeling up to it at the moment. But yeah, he decided that between that and the fact that we're doing this, that he would cancel his stream and just let this happen. So this is good because it's helpful to Angie. Had he not going to cancel it though, I don't know. He would have shouted out for this within his stream anyway. So because that's the kind of guy Dave is.
Yeah.
So if you're after good entertainment each day, well, most days, as long as Dave's up to it, check out his critical questions because he gets lots of guests in from the community. Often I'm there, not always, but often I'm there as well, and asks us ridiculous questions that we then have to come up with answers for, pretty much.
Well,
That's a fair description, isn't it? If he was here now, I'd be asking him to ask us some questions, but he's not. So.
Thinking that too.
Yeah.
That would have been fun, but well, that's just...
Usually they're funny. It's amazing though the number of times Dave has thought that a question would lead to funny answers, and we all just agree.
Yes.
And it's as simple as answer is, well, I wasn't expecting that. Well, you got that.
Yeah.
And then the question he thinks won't be controversial and we'll just give yes or no answers to are the ones that we go on for like 15 minutes.
Mm.
It's like,
I think the dog needs to go out and have pizza. We might have to very soon.
Yes.
we try our best, train back. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, that's how it should be. Which is not
Well, that's what the community is about, having fun, and enjoying ourselves.
So I'm gonna just stick these together and
Mhm.
stock these in the end of it. Stock these. Yes, that's correct. And then I'm here. Oh, here.
No.
Okay, so I'll put this on. And then we are here.
Yes.
So that's what we need to get done there. And I will go let the dogs have a bit of air.
Mhm.
Maybe have a little pee. Or maybe a little drink of water. You do so thirsty for me.
Yeah. Come on, please. Woo.
Sorry, I'm just typing.
Okay. Two of. Oh.
I won't ask. I was going to ask somebody else, but I realized they've already got the link. So if they were going to join, they would join. So I won't. Because that's like harassing people. I don't like harassing people to join streams because there's lots of good reasons why people don't. And they don't always want to tell you. So harassing people to join streams is just no. You ask nicely, and if they say no, that's no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike Notcha, who ended up surprising you guys.
He did. He had said no, and then he came.
I know, because I asked him to, and he said you'd already asked. And he goes, but send me the link anyway, Jen, because if I've got time later, and I'm not sure I will, I'm going to hop in and surprise them.
Oh.
So I did, and he made it. So that was awesome. That was so nice of him.
A conspiracy.
It was a good conspiracy.
Yes, it was. It's been a while since we talked to him.
I wasn't programming Robert. I was just typing messages to people on Twitter, and I was trying to find the right people to send them to. So I am not coding at the moment, although I have got a whole heap of coding still to do. But in all honesty, Angie's more important than my code. So I am trying to stay focused on this instead of letting my mind wander to what I'm... Well, it's not supposed to be doing. I'm coding this mostly for myself, but also for the community. So in that sense, it's not a requirement that I do. It's just me filling up my time. And if I'm filling it off, yeah, I don't have resting bitch face. I have resting sad or depressed face.
Yeah.
which is hilarious. That the fact is that if I'm going off and I'm thinking and working on something, people go, "Jen, are you okay?" Because I mean, granted, when it happened on Purple Stream, I wasn't okay, which is why I was sidetracking myself with the stream into programming. But I was actually depressed at the time. But it wasn't that my face was deliberately showing that I was depressed. It was the case that I was concentrating on what I was doing and I was just sitting there doing it. And I had about 4 or 5 people DM me going, "Are you okay, Jen?" And which I didn't even notice because I was too busy programming and doing the stream. So at the end of it, I said, "Yeah, I actually am okay. I'm a little bit depressed, but I'm fine."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. This app's written in Pascal, in free variant called Free Pascal. It was done like that because there's an awful lot of string handling. So Pascal and Basic both have excellent string handling. So as far as doing that, it was much easier to code in those. Although having said that, it probably would have been easier to program in Java or C to get the top end of the interface working.
Yeah.
But
I did learn some programming a while ago, but I have forgotten.
yeah, this is the first time I mean, I've done lots of programming in between. Most of my programming is microcontroller type stuff, like, where is it? I've got one here somewhere. Yeah, little tiny microcontroller, which is of course all programmed in C and I use them for this last lot I bought we used for controlling security gates, actually, because the big ass systems that do it are worth $2,000 to $3,000. And we needed a solution to be able to drop into a swimming center, actually, that would do the gate unlocking based off the security functions. So I went through all the control code mechanisms that are used for the expensive one you buy and built my own out of off-the-shelf components and programmed the software myself. And it worked beautifully. It actually worked better than the original, which was kind of awesome as far as I was concerned. So yeah, but aside from that and programming with these little babies, no one can read that stupid like Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry.
That's a microcontroller as well, but it's a full computer system. So like basically it's like your phone. It's got network and USB ports and HDMI output for monitors and that. They run Linux. They boot off a SD card, a micro SD card, and you can compile any. You can compile any code you like to help with your thing. So yeah, any of your development tools for Linux will run on it, and you can port code across to do things. But the advantage with microcontrollers is they've got output input pins that you can receive data from other devices with, which means that you can control other bits of technology. One of the projects I'm working on involves this little thing. Old classic Commodore 64. And I'm working on, I was working on, but I've been sidetracked with YouTube and other stuff. I was working on a system that enables the probably end up being an Arduino system that can be used to emulate RAM expansion for one of those or other types of cartridges, so that people can actually build an expansion cartridge from more or less off the shelf components without having to spend the $300 or $400 that hobbyists have to use to get something for the Commodore 64 that will do that sort of thing. So, and I was hoping that at some point I would film making some of that and put it up as a interesting little technology video where I get to talk about IT and stuff. But I probably won't do that on my Jen's Little Corner channel because I don't think it'll interest anybody in the community except for maybe Dave.
Oh, I would find it interesting.
Yeah, me too.
You would? Oh, well, I'll keep it on my main channel then. Yeah, generally speaking, that's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. And if you're talking electronics and classic computer systems, anything to do with science or maths or whatever, that's me. That's what I love. So yeah, and whilst I'm my qualifications are in that kind of stuff, electronics, computers, and maths. But science is one of my loves. But I never studied it in uni, mostly because I had my own personal issues that I was dealing with at the time. So I couldn't focus in on what I was studying. So I took subjects I knew I wouldn't have to work hard at. So that I know that's lazy as fuck, but it was the way I was at the time. There was no way I could have done the study required to have done the other subjects, not with dealing with the shit I was dealing with at the time. So I ended up going down the other route. But I love math and I love classic computer systems and programming and stuff like that as well. So it's not like I missed out on anything, but I've since thought about going back and getting a science degree, either in astronomy or astrophysics, along those lines, because I love that stuff. But whether or not I do it will depend greatly on finances and time and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Hey, Math Pig, how you doing?
Math Pig.
Yeah, Math Pig.
Hello.
If you
for joining us.
Yeah, if you want to hop in, Math Pig, go for it. There should be a link in Perp's channel.
Oh,
Um,
there we go.
but yeah, the
Or I can always do a roulette again and then go out and have a pee again.
But you won't be able to bring people in while you're peeing.
So
But they will be in the back room, so it's not a big issue.
just have to wait.
well, that's the easy way to put the link up. Just shove it in the chat. Why didn't I think of that? Because I don't need the link in there. Forwarding laundry.
Yeah.
Okay.
She still has to.
So yeah, I will put up the thing again. We'll talk about Angie again for anybody who's not aware of what's happened.
Sure, we want to see your underwear, Math Pig. You don't know us very well if you think we don't want to see your underwear.
So yeah, our lovely lady Angie
Definitely.
has had a fucking dreadful day today. Tornado basically through her backyard, ripped up a tree and smacked her house around with it like it was a baseball. And the tree's a baseball bat. The house is pretty much a write-off. This will probably be a bulldoze and rebuild job. From the pictures I've seen, I can't see them doing repairs per se. I don't know that it's even possible with the amount of damage that was done. So as a community, we decided we'd get together and see if we can raise a bit of money to help her out. So if you've got a bit of spare cash, do not feel compelled that you have to do this. If you don't have the spare money, or if you don't even want to donate, because that's not the kind of thing you do, that is perfectly fine. Do not feel compelled to do this. But if you feel like you would like to donate to help Angie out, if you have and only if you have a little bit of spare cash for the month, that'd be awesome. I've dropped the link in the chat. If you're not in the position to do that, shouting out the stream on Twitter and joining in the discussion, saying to Angie, I'm sorry, and let her know that we're all thinking about her. That's all good stuff to help, and please do that, because she's taking this pretty hard, as you would expect, and he's still in shock. Any support that can be given her in any form is just amazing, and it's amazing to me how absolutely brilliant this community is. If anyone saw my stream earlier, I was actually in tears when I was talking about this because it's just moved me so much, and that this amount of love can be poured out for someone within the community like Angie, and that's just amazing.
Yes.
So yeah.
So well.
You don't have to show us your underwear, Mythic.
No, he's folding it. He's folding his underwear.
Now, being concerned about other members in our community, those tornadoes that tore through where Angie is are still ripping up parts of America, heading through areas where there are other people in our community. And I won't say thoughts and prayers because most of us are non-religious. But if you are religious, if you want to offer prayers, well, they probably won't, because the people I'm thinking of probably don't want your prayers. But they're happy to have your thoughts and concerns for them. Please think about the other members in our community who are in the path of these tornadoes. I won't mention them by names because it's entirely up to them if they want to let people know that where they're at. But there are other members of our community who are facing the dangers of these tornadoes tonight. Well, today, whatever the target. I'm confused by time zone. It's 9 a.m. where I'm thinking of at the moment. So these people are still in the firing line, and we could have more people with issues tomorrow because of this. I think that there's a couple of tornadoes that have come out of this particular pull through. So yeah, it's not been a good thing, and Angie is certainly not the only person who suffered from this. And she possibly won't be the only one in our community who does. So just keep a thought out for the people in our community.
It also hit Angie's friend Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was pretty close. I think he got through it.
Yeah, he's okay.
Without having his whole house destroyed, but he was pretty close.
They don't live that far
apart. No, they don't.
No.
But I think he got the lucky one. The lucky part of it.
He still got his
So
house.
I have to do 8 of these.
Holy 8! Whoa. Okay.
Holy 8.
Holy 8. That's the panels.
The solar
Panel.
I am building a buttload of solar panels.
Yeah.
What kind of language was that?
Yes, you have to.
Programming is you have to have the right mindset to do programming, MathPig. It's one of those things. You have to be one of those people who can just sit at something for several hours and be prepared for the absolute frustration of it. If anybody watched the stream at all, I know lots of people did. Where I was with seeing the expressions on my face as I was trying to delve through problems. It's just no wonder people thought I was really, really, really depressed. It's like, I wanted the sidetracking because I was a little bit depressed, and being on things like that probably wasn't a great idea. But it was nice having the thing in the background and occasionally being able to respond and knowing there were people there. It was a good thing for me. But yeah, it's one of those things. You have to have the right mentality for doing programming. It's it's a non-interactive thing that unlike gaming, you're not getting the pleasure feedback from it unless you actually solve a problem. So it's a one of those things that there's a lot of work for a small reward. Having said that, the final reward of getting it all right and having it all in front of you is huge. So there is that, but you've got to get to that point. I mean, I've been 3 weeks working on this project, and I'm finally getting to that point where I'm going, oh my God, I've solved these problems and it's basically working. And then I walk into a new problem. And the new problem is when as I said to Linda and Morton earlier, I'm really scratching my head because I actually have no idea how I'm going to solve it. The documentation on the thing I need to work on isn't there, and I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm not even sure that I can figure it out because it's the information on it just isn't there, and it's not something I've ever done before. So it's one of those things.
But if someone can do it, I'm pretty sure it's you.
Oh, that's cool. MathPig programming a bot in Java for Discord is actually really cool.
Yeah, talking of bots.
Bots?
Well, yeah, I can't even
What?
speak. Talking of bots, I need a video bot in my Discord.
A video bot.
Yeah.
Please do elaborate. a bit.
Okay.
Trial and error isn't going to work when you're talking about programming networking functions, and you have to send the right commands to them to make it happen. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it because I'm not sure how the protocol works. And unless I can find a document on it that actually gives me all the information, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's just going to be one of those things I'm going to go, nah, it's not happening. I'm hoping I can pick Dave's brain on it because I know he's implemented a bit of it before and he nicked some code from somewhere for it. And if I can get hold of his stuff, then maybe I can figure out how to do it with what I need to do. But yeah, it's going to be, otherwise I'm going to be trawling forums and trying to find people I can ask questions about for questions of. But it's one of those things. It's going to be a hassle. So I'm not looking forward to it. I've got to that point where this is now a hassle. I've got to implement a whole base object code protocol, object code for handling WebSockets, nerdy. Because I chose to use Pascal for my programming language, and I am not porting this to another language now because I've done too much work on it already. There isn't a set of code for handling WebSockets in Pascal, so I am going to have to basically write my own on top of the core code for handling network functions, and WebSockets are a pain in the ass from everything I've seen at the moment. So, but needed so I can remote control OBS from the app. So. Unless, of course, I use an entirely different way of controlling OBS from the app, which is possible.
Yeah.
That I may look at different alternative options for doing the control features. I don't know. I don't know what's exactly going to be available. So,
Gone over the 140 mark.
Oh, damn it. I guess Simon Dan won. Yeah, I can live with that. That's okay. If I have to lose to someone, it might as well be Simon Dan. Yeah, he did this in 1 hour and 40 minutes, Simon Dan. So I was hoping I could beat him, but it seems like no.
No.
Nope. That didn't happen. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Oh, shit. But this is the home stretch.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a lot of fiddly bits.
You need to finish it in about 4 minutes, I think, to beat the record.
I'm not. It's not gonna happen.
No,
Definitely.
but it looks awesome. So when you're done with it, is this one going on the shelf, or are you pulling it apart again?
Oh, it's gonna go on the shelf. We never pull Lego apart again.
So are you going to paint it or keep it in its original?
Keep it original. Always.
Keep it original.
Yes. We always do that because there is a bit of a. It might.
Client.
It might actually become worth something, so we don't want to miss too much.
Yeah. I've seen the examples, nerdy, and they're using older code for Borland, and I'm not using Borland. I'm using Free Pascal, and some of it won't compile. So yes, it is still a case of building it, but I also need to understand how the protocol works inside OBS to transmit the data properly. So OBS has a plugin that turns it into the server, and then you run from my software as a client, and it connects and tells OBS what to do. I'm hoping I can use a barest minimum of stuff to send the data through I need to send through, and that will keep the code a little less complicated, but I'm not sure. And as I've never programmed a WebSocket interface before, I am flaying around in the dark a little bit. No, I've got the WebSocket plugin for OBS. I've got to write the other end of the client for my app so that it can connect to the WebSocket plugin so I can send data, which probably is going to mean looking through some of the code for the WebSocket plugin so that I can figure out how the commands I've received and what commands I can use. I know there is a fair amount of documentation there, so hopefully I can figure out how to do it and how to maintain the socket connection and send the data to it in a way that it'll like it, and hopefully it's not going to be too complicated. I know that the WebSocket thing that was being developed for Delphi before people stopped using Delphi was quite large in its code, and I'm a bit worried that I'm going to have to build all the protocol in, and I'm hoping I can bypass some of that and use cheat things, because ultimately I just want to send a few commands across to tell it what to do, and then have strings in a config file so that you put the string in the config file and then it can grab it from there and put the right string out to OBS, and hopefully that's all I need to do to get OBS to respond. But like I said, I know Dave's already done some of this for his stuff, so I'm going to have a talk to Dave at some point about it when he's feeling a bit better, and see if he can throw a few pointers in my direction. Failing that, I will find other people who have done this stuff and throw questions at them. Hey, Justin, how are you?
Hello, Justin.
It's Justin. Hello. Have we gotten the sound? Soundy sound.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Did we have a hello? Yes.
Yes, yes.
We had a hello.
Hello,
Goody.
hello,
Goody.
hello.
Oh, what's up? What am I getting here? This is actually the last one.
Yeah, it is the last one.
And then I just
So yeah, I don't know. I've taken over your stream and talking about programming.
I don't mind. I'm actually getting jealous when you guys talk about programming and stuff. I want to learn too.
There we
Hey,
go.
Tornado.
That's all the panels
Tornado!
ready.
We have tornado!
Tornado! Yay! He's gonna love this one.
Mm.
Yeah. You get Tornado in here,
The
You'll never shut up.
stream will go for hours and hours.
you think I talk too much.
Oh,
I love you, Tornado.
working.
Apparently, one in.
Let me just
He wants to get in. I can send him a
Yeah,
link if you like.
Oh, you can just
Oh shit!
put it in the.
Oh yeah, put it in the chat. That works. I keep forgetting to do that. It's like, yeah, just have it in the chat.
Because usually it's
Hey,
the
Tornado.
but not with StreamYard.
I like Robert's answer. How do I get in this? Not. Rude, Robert.
Too late, Robert. Here.
He's already got the link now. Hey, Tornado, how are you?
Hi.
No tornado.
Tornado.
I've been actually working with Lego recently too.
Yeah, you
Oh,
have.
cool.
I saw that. You showed me. It looks
I
really
kind of
good.
want to show that off right now because I actually have the thing built, or rather, it's not so much the thing. It was a program that I used to build the model.
Oh yeah.
Ever heard of Space Battleship Yamato 2199?
I have,
Wow.
but I don't remember. It doesn't make any sense. I remember I remember this being talked about before, but I don't remember it as a thing.
Well, I kind of want to share what I ended up doing. By the way, it's not an official Lego set pic. It's not an official Lego set. It's just a fun little picture I made that looks like one. So
Oh, cool.
there is a little bit of a disclaimer. So you guys
Go
don't mind
for
if I
it.
share my screen?
Huh? Go for it.
Do you know how to
Well, it's not my stream, but go for it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask Morton, Linda, do you mind if I show off the thing?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to get permission from the other guys. Don't show these tips again.
Sure thing.
Select window or
I'm okay
screen.
with it. You just have to figure out where this needs to
See,
go.
select window or
That's
screen.
why I'm kind
Oh,
of crouched down now because
You want to put your After you've done that, Tornado, do you want to put your link in the chat, because I haven't actually got your link in my text file that I was making for these streams. So,
In case
for
you
your
trying to get that yum.
and same for you, Justin. If you've got a YouTube page, YouTube.
I'm gonna stop the sharing thing.
Wrong one.
There's
Here
an
we go.
extension.
I think I got it now.
I was gonna. There's an extension in Chrome that you can download and install. It's called Go To Channel, and you just download that in, and then you go refresh.
There
the
you
chat.
go. Can you guys see it?
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Awesome.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, so yes, this is why I know this, because this is the same thing that ended up in English being Star Blazers. Yes, that's why I know it. Yes, I remember watching Star Blazers as a kid.
I found the instruction booklet it's not an instruction booklet, more like a PDF for this thing. So I decided, you know what the hell? I've got to build this damn thing.
What was the other race called? The Gamelons or something?
Well, there's the Gamelos the Gamelons and the Iskandarians, I think.
Iskandarians, that's it, yeah. And they had the wave motion engine.
Yeah.
The Tornado, do you have the picture of your build?
Yeah, it's showing up right there. I'm sharing it.
No, the one you sent to Morten?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me get that right.
Yeah,
Let me get that up so I can show everyone.
ISS is done.
Woo! It's done.
You guys are going to start working on the LEM now?
That is freaking awesome. Love it. Oh, that is brilliant. That is an amazing bit of kit.
Carefully. Turny.
It's kind of big.
Oh.
Yes, it is kind of big.
It is big, but it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And we even have a little shuttle.
Yeah. A little spaceman.
It doesn't really fit the scale, but that's okay.
There you go. Here's the other one without any of the fancy post-processing. Here's the official thingy. This is just a plain view.
No, I like that. That is brilliant.
Yeah, it looks like
Awesome.
a ship and a submarine put together.
A spaceship submarine.
It's the space battleship Yamato.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like a submarine.
I know,
So
I
cool.
know.
It's cool,
Yeah.
especially that it looks like a submarine. I like that.
I built it mainly because I wanted to build it. While I'm stuck here at home, I've got to do something with my
Yeah.
time.
Oops. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So
I'm just finding links.
I have a Lego program, so I decided I might as well use it.
Yeah,
Yeah, why not?
that must have. Oh, you did have to put in some orders for some bricks, didn't you?
So what else are you going to be building today?
I think we're not going to be building any more. I think that's enough. We do have another thing,
Yeah.
but not today.
You're not gonna show it.
I could probably show it. It's a bit of a spoiler, but Jen's already seen it. So
Yeah.
we do have another thing, but that's for another day.
Okay.
And I think you're gonna like it too, Tomato.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this one too.
Oh, screw you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
You lucky
you already showed me.
bastards. You lucky bastards. I
And
need
we
that
are
to go with
still
my
waiting
Saturn V.
for the package from Purple.
Yeah, it seems to have gotten stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
We hope Purple can resolve that. It's apparently hasn't gotten. I don't think it even has gotten here to Denmark.
No. It's
The last place was Chicago.
he's gonna file a complaint.
And for the people that doesn't know, it was when we did the fundraiser for Purple. We got to choose some Lego,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As a thank you present.
I'm gonna get some Lego from Purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are gonna be building that live too once we get it. Be
Yeah.
careful, doggy.
Oh,
Under the table.
awesome. Thank you, Nerdy. That will help immensely. You are my savior.
Okay.
Nerdy save. Nerdy to the rescue.
Nerdy to the rescue.
Nerdy to the rescue. Thank you, Nerdy. I can use that to at least trial out that everything's working because I can cheat and call the function, call a command line function from within my own code and then port the code across afterwards. That's brilliant. Thank you. That'll save a whole heap of hassle. And at least that way, if I don't get my own code working, I still have a solution.
Jang is right about that.
I don't mind stealing and using other people's little bits of code to do things like as utility tools to add into what I've done because that's fine as far as I'm concerned. I'll do that, especially if they're free tools. So yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. If I can use that to get around some of my hassles, then that's exactly what I will do. Thank you, Nerdy. You're fucking awesome. Yeah, I hadn't spent a lot of time looking because I came out here and started looking at code to put in and then realized that Linda and Morton's stream is going to start soon, so I'd just hop in. Like I said, Angie comes first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got
That's
up.
why we're doing it.
I got up at
And whilst we're talking about Angie coming first,
Just because I came up and told you why Junkshot was live.
Yeah.
I had to tell you. So
here is the link. How's your mum doing, Tornado?
She's doing good.
That's cool.
Oh, was something wrong?
Because you guys have had enough shit lately as well, so
Oh,
Yeah.
hopefully nothing bad.
yeah.
So you got a show coming up, Jen?
Me? I did a stream for this earlier, but I don't know how much longer Linda's planning on going for. Linda and Morton are planning on going for. But I guess I could do another one afterwards.
What, debunking stuff or something like
We
that?
could do a debunking stuff. Well, I was actually planning on making a debunking video today, and I have a thing queued up ready to go and do the debunk on, which I actually haven't even watched yet. But it was something that I saw that pissed me off.
Well, then let's do a live one then, debunking it.
So I'm not objecting to doing a live one with you. We could do a live one.
Yay!
Oh, I was
bored.
join.
I probably won't start it straight after this because I'll probably do it through OBS so that I can share stuff a little bit better in that. Although I could just be lazy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I am doing my TMI show as usual
Later on.
with Mr. Shadow Kitty.
Oh, awesome! When is that?
It's
Linda.
9 p.m. my time.
Okay, so what is it? It's 3 p.m. for you right now.
No, it's 4.
4 p.m.
It's 4 p.m. Oh, that's right. It's 6 hours time difference at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. I forget you have daylight or no daylight savings now or whatever.
Yeah,
The way around.
we do.
I'm confused. I've confused myself. Yeah, 6 hours. So 4 o'clock. So you've got another 6 hours before you start. I don't think I'll go for 6 hours.
Oh, that's okay.
But I'm sure other people will wake up in the interim and start wanting to do stuff. So that could be interesting. I may do a shout out on the who's actually up at the moment. Tornado
In Florida?
In the group. In movie night group.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Because it'd be handy if we could drag a couple of other debunkers in and actually have a bit of a fun night debunker.
Cool.
Oh,
Should I
And
ask?
actually, what would be even cool is if we did a special movie night to raise money for Angie.
oh yeah,
Oh
that
yeah.
would be I think.
But I think no, Jess is probably working, so the chances of that actually happening is next to zero.
At least.
So,
I'm
but it'd be nice.
You will mention it on movie night on Friday night.
I asked, who's up at the moment, guys?
Oh, you well, it's not my channel, Robert, but Robert's asking if you can put yourself full screen
Oh,
so that they can see it properly.
Oh yeah, try that.
I can do that.
What, the avatar?
No, of the
The
ISS.
Oh, the ISS. My bad.
Oh dear.
There it is. Beautiful.
Hello.
Ta-ta.
Ta-da! That is so fucking amazing. I
I'll turn
love
it very gently because it is a bit jittery. Yeah, look.
I want that build. That thing is cool.
Yeah, it's going to be your next purchase, is it, Tornado?
Well, depending on the stimulus check and when it comes in, I'm hoping Mom might get me a couple Lego sets.
Shuttle.
Yeah, the little
Oh no! It comes with a little shuttle.
yeah, and tiny spaceman.
And a spare satellite. Tiny little Lego nano figures in spacesuits. Hardly.
Oh wow!
They're so tiny.
It- that is so gorgeous. That is freaking amazing.
Oh,
I love it.
get your head.
I quite like it. I was actually kind of meh when I saw people building it on YouTube, and then I thought, you have to see it in real life, and then I'm not disappointed.
No, I can't reach my.
Oh no, I wouldn't be either. That is
Cool as
absolutely brilliant.
Here we go.
It's gorgeous. It was so worth your time.
We do.
Definitely, it's not one of the longest builds we've done, but it is probably one of the
Oh,
best.
no. The one you did at Christmas, because you had to finish that in the next stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we fit. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, that was the Beetle.
Yeah,
Was
Yeah,
the
that was
Christmas?
yeah, the Beetle.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the relay.
Yeah, that was the Beetle.
We finished it in one rings.
Yeah.
Three.
Wandering stream. That's right. So yeah, that was amazing as well. But yeah, that was a complicated build.
It's actually pretty damn funny, and that we got to finish it on the next one. That was actually pretty cool.
Mm.
Quite like that. I don't mind doing that. That's funny. We don't have to do it all ourselves.
One of my big
Yeah.
questions right now is, what would Mom think about getting me a whole bunch of disaster movies?
Mm.
Why do you want disaster movies,
Yeah,
Tornado?
Well, I've always been a fan of disaster movies. Something
I was-
about wanton destruction.
I would totally enjoy doing a stream where we tear apart the ridiculous science of The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, Jen, you should probably do the core too.
Oh, the core. Yeah, that's just as bad.
I quite enjoy watching the movie, but well,
I saw. We went to the premiere of The Day After Tomorrow. It was the second night, so it wasn't the premiere. At a midnight screening, and there was only 6 people in the cinema, and us and the other people in the cinema spent the whole movie yelling at the screen at how bad it was. It's like, this is just stupid. That doesn't happen.
I am able to enjoy movies with bad science. It's okay. It's just movies. So if you see it like that, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's quite funny actually.
Yeah.
Last time, but
I don't mind the bad science, but it was just so bad in Day After Tomorrow. It was just Ah,
Jen,
I was
have you
like-
watched The Expanse?
I have. I love The Expanse.
It's freaking awesome. I mean, the only thing that's probably a bit out there, that's the proto-molecule, but the rest is just so, whoa.
I'm not thinking
Yeah,
about.
the protomolecule's a bit out there. The wormhole that that the protomolecule makes is a bit out there as well.
Yes.
I'm
But
not
other than
thinking
that,
about
yeah,
getting. The one disaster movie I'm not planning on getting is Contagion for fairly obvious reasons.
well, yeah.
I'm already living the movie Contagion in real life. I don't need a movie to tell me what's happening in the real world.
Nope.
This
No,
is
some people live like that.
Contagion 2. This seems like Contagion 2, Bat's Revenge.
Yeah. Well, there was a very good scene in The Expanse that was just awesome. That was the guy, the racer guy, the guy that was racing the gravity thing. When he tried to go through the wormhole and he just stopped because of the speed limit. Do you remember that, Jen?
Yeah. There's a lot of bad things in movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
And TV series. As I was talking about before with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Mm.
Doctor Who's not that bad,
Well,
is
we
it?
haven't watched the old
You wait.
we don't have access to
Wait
it.
till you see the latest season, the last 2 episodes.
If we ever get to.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So I've ruined it for everyone.
No, but
Oh.
well, it's not easily accessible in Denmark anymore.
I'm going to link out everybody who's been on the stream. So we'll start with Lucy. And
Yeah.
All the linky doodles. Remember your own
the
link.
one I can't cut and paste for some reason. And Mr. Not Your Witness, and
Yeah,
of course Justin, who's here,
Yeah.
who we've all been talking over. Sorry, Justin.
Oh, Justin needs to say something. Oh.
And I don't have your link, Tornado. I can't find it.
You don't have my link?
I don't. You've got a YouTube channel, don't you?
You can just stick it in there.
Yeah, just stick it in there.
Stick it in there, Tony. The link. The
And
link.
of course, the link to my channel as well, if anyone's interested or not already subbed, is right there.
Oh. Tornado in a Junkyard. The relentless storm of movie night.
Ah, okay. But I tried to search for that and it wouldn't come up. So
I
if
just
you
typed
want
up
to...
Tornado in a Junkyard YouTube. It's going in the internal chat so you can post it.
Oh, okay. I'll grab it out of there then. Private chat. Thank you, Tornado.
It's not much, but
It's your channel and it should be added in because you're in the stream. So
I'm awaiting people who just guys who are in the live chat. What kind of stupid do you want to see me debunk?
oh. I think it's more about the way you do it than what you debunk, Tornado. So
Yeah, I kind of want to see if we can do the debunk thing, Jen.
Oh,
I don't mind.
And if we do a debunk of the
Hey,
DF,
You want, Dave, do you want Tornado to debunk evolution? Oh my.
And there's Dave.
hey,
Oh, Dave, see what we built here.
Yeah, look.
Put it up. Put it up. Put it up again.
Yeah. I'm about to.
I've been doing your job, Dave.
Jen's been
Yeah,
doing
Jen,
pretty good.
You
Look,
did
Dave.
good. Yeah.
Look, Dave. Look, we built the International Space Station. Some say it's fake. We don't.
It's right there.
Right here. pretty darn
No, it's
awesome.
CGI. It's not really there at all.
Oh.
How much did NASA pay you in show money?
High altitude airplane. Yeah, that is cool. You're right.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's fucking amazing. I love it.
Unfortunately, I didn't beat Simon Dance time. I was aiming for that.
No.
It was
But you did a good
about-
job. I mean, you weren't far off. And I have a question. Did you actually start when the stream started?
I started. No, I didn't actually.
No.
You're right about that.
So you finished at 1 hour 48 minutes. So how long into the stream before you actually started?
Yeah, we have to go back and.
If you were 3 or 4 minutes in, you have beaten him.
Could actually have been.
Yeah.
I had to get. Yes, because we were talking a bit, weren't we, before?
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at it from the time he started assembling it, which is okay. I'm not counting the opening of the instructions. He's picking up the bags.
Then definitely, I must have beaten him.
So from the time they're tipped out, basically.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, he's tipped out the pieces at approximately. Let's see, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. According to my bit, the first part of the stream when he started tipping out the pieces actually started about 2 hours and 4 minutes or 2 hours and 5 minutes ago.
Okay. So so 5 minutes, 5 6 minutes into the stream before you did it, you won. You beat him.
Yay!
Because that would make your time 1 hour 42 minutes, which is less than Simon Dan took. Well done.
Yes.
Aren't you glad the adjudicator is here?
It's really good. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to gloat a bit.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, we probably have to go back through the stream later and actually pin down exactly when you ended and exactly when you started, but it looks to me like you probably beat him, or at least got really close to it. So.
Oh yeah, closer than I thought, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you did really, really well.
Oh, thank you.
And it looks amazing.
But it's not really a big build. It's just a lot of repetition on it. And
Yeah.
be very careful.
Did he build all the little add-ons, like the little satellite and the shuttle and that? Because if he didn't, he hasn't finished yet.
Oh, he hasn't finished yet. What? I didn't get that. Oh no.
So yeah. So Justin, tell us about you, because
Yeah.
you're not somebody I've encountered in a stream before. So tell us about you. Justin?
Hello, hello, hello.
Can Justin hear us?
Hmm.
He can. Okay. He just doesn't want to talk at the moment.
Well, I just don't want to interrupt the
Oh,
conversation.
there's no
you know
interrupt at the
how it
moment.
is. Keeping it fair.
No. Well, you go, because we've been doing all the talking. So go. Tell us about you, Justin.
That's true. So for those that don't know me, my name is Justin, and my YouTube channel, I mostly do cover songs and duets on to the apps that I have on my phone. I have Smule and Star Maker.
Cool.
They're really good. And aside from all that, I also do outdoor vlogs, and I did a few unboxings. I still have yet to do live. That's the only thing that I still have yet to do, but I'll let you know as soon as I figure out when I'll be doing my first live.
Cool. Awesome.
So there you go, Critical Cripple. I just answered your question there.
So, and we got him on a stream, and he's got more followers than all of us put together. So he's amazing.
Oh.
4 subscribers. Yeah. We've got a big name here.
Mm,
Cool. Nice. So, Jen, did you notice that Robert X wants Tornado to debunk Australia?
oh my.
We'll see. We will find something. It'd be nice if we could actually have a choice, do a bit of a random thing like movie night does, and then go from there. But I'm not sure I've got. I'm not sure I've got too much sitting there that I can just grab out of. So. On the other side, last time Tornado and I did this. Well, not the last time. The time before we did this, because last time was with Kate and I had stuff set ready to go. The last time before that, we actually ended up asking the chat what they wanted to do, and we ended up doing Kent Hovind, which was awesome fun.
Yeah, and it was speaking of movies, there's quite a few that I'm looking forward to seeing. One of them, Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
It is awesome.
Which is coming out in a few days' time on demand.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, it is. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be, so you're in for a bit of a treat.
That's true. Yeah, my dad and I were going to go watch it before this pandemic began, but we didn't get the time to do it before this happened.
Online. I got to watch it online.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, I have a funny Twitter picture. The year is 2030. The first astronauts have landed on Mars. They find a cave with a human skeleton and 4 words written on the wall. What are the 4 words? And my favorite one is actually from Lavender Lady, saying, "Kilroy was here, suckers."
You'd have to have the little picture of it too. Yeah, the little guy looking over the fence. I know that's not actually Kilroy, but it's normally put with the Kilroy was here.
Yeah, David might have been, but people were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt too much just because I finished the build.
Yeah, it was about an hour 48 minutes that it was finished, and you didn't start until about 5-6 minutes in, so that makes it about an hour and 42 minutes, which is still less time than Simon Dan took. So
he did what did he do, an hour and 45?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, it wasn't supposed to be a competition. It was just because we had the same.
You have to tweet it at him.
Well, there was another competition show that already wrapped up the finale of it a couple of weeks ago called Lego Masters.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, cool.
So,
what are we poking at, Dave?
I think Dave is telling me that I kept poking at the space station there when I finished it, so he wasn't sure when I started.
Well, you're proud of it. You're supposed to be proud of it. You did a brilliant job.
Little bits. And I didn't want to interrupt too much because you were talking. So
yeah, well, we do that.
I know. That's good.
I don't shut up.
I don't really have much time to talk when I'm trying to build something. Yeah,
well, that's why you wanted other people in the chat, so we could keep the flow going of the chat whilst people watched you build.
Yeah, especially when we're doing it for Angie.
Yes, Jeff, I said poking.
Yes.
Yeah, you want another nice word, Jeff? Moist.
Moist. Let's not, Dave, you're not gonna, don't put that question with the party tricks in the chat. Don't do it.
Cuss it, yeah. He knows why I said moist now. Here's one for Tornado. Punching the cobra.
Oh God.
Oh, the cobra again. What did that
That's become something of a meme, just like the original thing on movie night. Like,
Yeah, I
everyone
know.
starts making whatever I say become a meme.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, Tornado. I just couldn't resist.
Well, I must say that the movie night crew right now is very good at finding alternatives to exactly that.
Oh, movie night is so much fun.
You guys are terrible.
We're terrible. Jeff, no, not really, because Angie is sleeping and we need her to update us. But Jen, what was it when we left off at your stream?
Well, I don't know when I started my streamer at
Yeah.
1600, and I know some more money was put in after that, but we'd have to actually ask Angie because she's the only one who can see the total.
Yeah.
But I know at least nearly $100 was put in towards the end of Julie's stream, and just as mine was started. So I know
What's
we were
going
probably
on?
up close to 1700. But I went for 3 hours, and I'm sure there were other people who donated since. We know that Lucy donated some money. There would have been other people as well. So I'm thinking we're probably pushing around 1900, maybe. But
Sure.
yeah, sure, Jeff. I think I put the link where you can get to it already, Jeff. So if not, it's in the chat. So yeah.
Just stick it in again. That's okay.
Yeah.
Stick it in.
So yeah, it's probably pushing closer and closer towards that 2000. Not that we've set a limit for this. I mean, Angie's ongoing expenses with getting around what's happened is going to be. We're probably hardly even going to put a dent in what's happened, what she's going to cop here. So yeah, she's in a bad place. I mean, as it stands, the whole tornado tree whack house play whack-a-mole with the house is just like it's not something you want to be in the middle of. And the fact that insurance companies being the way they are in the US, they're liable to turn around and say act of God, to which I say, which God, and can you prove that God exists? I think it's going to be really hard on Angie. I think she's going to have to fight a lot to get her money, and this could take months and months and months. And in the meantime, they have to live. They have to pick up around themselves and get into a position. That probably means they're going to have to rent a house for a while whilst things get sorted. I mean, this is not good for Angie. So any little bit we can do to help, whether that's if you have the money. If you can donate a little bit to help, that's awesome. If you don't have it, please do not donate. If it's going to make you type for the month, do not donate money. Please do not. If you have got it and you want to help, the link I'm going to dump in the description again in a second. That is also awesome. But there's so many other things you can do, like following these streams, sending a cheerio to Angie and saying, thinking of you, Angie. And I'm sorry, Angie, just letting her know that you're thinking about her. Tweeting out the links to these streams so that people can come along, check it out, find out what's happening, see how things are going. We'll know more when Angie wakes up. She did try and go to get some sleep. So, yeah, if just tweeting them out and getting people on the bandwagon for this to help out will, in the long run, help Angie both financially and emotionally. And that is what's important here, that we are reaching out, we are helping other members of the community. And like I said, it's not about you digging in your pockets and giving money. Whilst that is awesome and wonderful that we've had so many people do that, it's not just about that. Just people being in streams to give voice, to give entertainment, so that other people can come along and find out what's going on and offer support where they can for somebody in need in our community. And as I said, Angie may not be the only person hurt by this. There was about 3 or 4 tornadoes that are heading right across that Midwest area. There will probably be other people hit. Well, there will definitely be other houses hit. There may be other people in our community hit. I know of at least one person who's in the firing line and is probably going to take shelter in their
This is live.
tonight. Sorry?
This is live?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So I know of somebody who's looking at taking shelter tonight, or this afternoon as it would be in the this morning as it would be in the US. So that's the thing. Well, there's going to be a need in the community for support. I know we've been giving everybody in the community support because of the stuff with COVID and the fact that these things are happening, but just remember, when it comes down to it, whilst we are all diverse people and we don't always agree on everything, it is great when we can come together and support those of us in the community in their hour of need. And the fact that we do this, and I've seen it time and time and time again, like with Purple, Notcha, with Jess, with Mero, but with Jess when her dad died, when Systra died, with other people in the community like Ansgar and Doc with cars and things like that. The fact that this community, when it has come down to it, has always pulled together and tried to help and support each other just touches my heart so much. I love you all so much. You are fucking amazing people. And I will not stop saying this during this. And otherwise, I think you're all fucking amazing. I know I've had a few people go, "Oh, Jen, you're wonderful." Rah, rah. And fuck that. I'm not wonderful. I'm just this dumb bitch who gets behind a camera and says her mind. And the people who are amazing are the people who have helped out in whatever way is possible when the chips are down and people need that support. You people in the community who are amazing. It's the community that's amazing, not any of us who make content. Whether you're a big or a small content creator, we're just people. It's the community that's important, and you guys are amazing, and I love you.
Thanks.
Good speech. True.
Yeah, we love you too, then.
I know, but it's like I'm not important in this. I really aren't. Yeah. I know I've been the vocal voice of pushing this for the last few hours, and that's but it's not about me. This is about Angie. This is about the community. And if anyone for 1 second thinks this was about me, it's not. And I matter nout in this. Yes, if it was me in a disaster, then possibly it is about me. But I'm not.
Could be.
I'm just a voice in the community who's screaming out and saying, we need to support somebody in our community. And that's what's important. And as long as we can always do that, as long as we can always put our differences aside from each other, because there will be differences in the community, and we can stand together and say, we are going to do the better thing, then I'm all for that. You guys are fucking amazing. Remember that. Remember that always, you guys. And if anybody ever watches this stream later, because I know this kind of content is very topical at the time when things happen, remember then, if there's something going down, even if it's something little, reach out, help, support. You guys are what matter. You guys are fucking amazing. And I love you all.
I know, just as soon as I saw Junk Shop stream this morning, when I just rolled out of bed, and I was actually
Jeff,
watch some Red
stop
Dead.
me. I keep ranting.
We love you too, Jen.
I love you as well.
Welcome.
Yeah.
You haven't been
Hi,
here before.
hello.
This is just Linda's little corner of the internet.
Yes.
I'm always in my little corner. You know, this lovely little corner that is actually my bedroom. This little corner was my whole little corner for a week and a half when they thought I had COVID. And I fucking hate it. but it's still where my computer is, and I have to record shit, and I'm like, ah. It was so depressing being stuck in my room for a week and a half.
Yeah.
It really fucked me over.
Hey, godless scummer.
Hey, oh, how's you?
Tornado.
I'm good. Now, just so you know, while I am a Christian, I am not a young Earth creationist. I am not a flat earther, and I am
That's fine,
certainly
mate.
not stupid.
No,
You're not stupid.
To be honest, it is normally like the Hovins or whatever of the world I tend to go after if I go up, you know. I've actually had a Christian friend who wants to do a chat with me on my channel at some point, so I'm going to try and arrange that at some point. So,
Well, that should be interesting.
yeah, I mean, yeah, nothing. It'd be just quite friendly little chat about beliefs and whatever. You know, I just think it'd be quite. I thought, yeah, okay, I'm up for that.
Just a little bit of banter.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my big things that I really do like is actually weather.
Yeah. The trouble
Which is
is,
kind of obvious from the name Tornado in a Junkyard.
yeah.
I love that whole little thing because the name lets me take the piss out of creationists and take the wind out of it.
And everyone should take the piss out of creationists. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, but I can't do it as well as like One Ring and that, but nobody's ever seen a dog produce something that's not a dog, Jen. You have a religion. I can't do it as well. I can't do it as well as One Ring.
I've seen a dog produce a shit.
You have a religion that doesn't actually qualify as a religion because it doesn't promote that some essence of self will go on past the death of the physical body. So how can evolution be considered a religion? Man, I really need to stop considering evolution a religion, don't I? Kent 2025.
Oh no.
I'm Kent Hogan, and I have no idea.
Well, Kent 2025 will probably be on part of what's on his tombstone.
No, it should be 0645-2017. That should be on his. That should be on his tombstone.
He's still getting shit over that?
I should too.
I think. Well, in a way, I think Aaron kind of started it, didn't he? In a way, because of.
Well, no, he started up by calling Aaron by his birth name.
That was where I was about to go with it. He was deliberately dead naming Aaron, so Aaron decided to respond in kind, and we haven't let Kent Hovind live that one down. Nor should he, especially when he keeps going on about how his taxes pay for, you know.
Yeah, Dave's point. If he shut the fuck up about it, everybody else would. But he always goes on about this thing, so we're always going to give him shit for it.
Yeah, it's like, the problem is the evolutionist religion is tax supported. Oh, right. Why should I be talking about tax supporting? I tried to commit federal fraud. Although, I actually asked Kent Hovind on one of his comments one time, so Kent, you always say you're not against science, you're against lies. But if that's so, then why were you sent to prison for almost 10 years for lying to the federal government?
Yeah, he claims he's innocent still.
He claims lots of things. None of them are true.
One time me and Jen were actually going on about how the Earth would never recover from a 40-day flood, from a Noachian flood like Kent Hovind preached.
Well, it would, but I mean, humanity wouldn't.
No. In the best case, Earth would recover, but humanity wouldn't. In the worst case, Earth wouldn't recover.
Not as we know it.
Remember the Hovind ice meteor theory?
Yes, it destroys the atmosphere and most of the planet. But I mean, you give enough millions of years, and the Earth actually might recover to a point where it's got some form of life on it again. But Yeah, it's basically wiping the slate clean. Completely clean. Like nothing.
Considering that the impact from that meteor would be enough to liquefy the surface of the planet, if not outright crack it.
Yeah. But that I definitely, if I had my way, that would his prison number would be on his gravestone.
I think that's mostly what he's going to be remembered for now. I was not convicted of fraud, except yes, I was, and I'm still committing fraud by lying about how I was not convicted of fraud.
Oh, he's a sad little man.
Yeah.
I was actually one time doing an edit of the Big Daddy Jack T Chick track.
Yeah.
It's not really finished yet, but I have around 12 pages of it done. I'm thinking I might do the rest of it where the young Earth creationist actually has his mind opened up to logic and facts.
Oh, you.
Young Earth creationists have their mind open to logic and facts? How does that happen?
Well, it's in the Jack T Chick track that I've basically been editing very, very liberally. For instance, the original one has a chart of quote unquote human fossils and such. My version has a chart of man-made fusion events, including but not limited to Ivy Mike, Castle Bravo, and the Tsar Bomba.
Yeah.
Which leads me to wonder, why does Kent Hovind claim that quote unquote chemical evolution, nucleosynthesis, quote unquote, is a religious belief? Why does he go around quoting that? I mean, how old is he?
Oh, I've got a video for us.
Kent Hovind's got to be at least 60 years old, right? Maybe even 70?
Something like that. Maybe dead in a few years.
How old is he? Well, I think
Let me put it this way. Kent Hovind should at the very least be able to remember this sort of thing. There once was 67. A turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert.
Duck and cover. Oh, word.
Yeah, I am of course referring to that because Kent Hovind was probably around during the time of the fucking Cold War. And if Kent Hovind wants to go around claiming that nucleosynthesis is a religious belief, then maybe he should harken back to his maybe he should harken back to his days when he lived in fear of having atomic fire rain from the skies. And then he should look at how close we came to nuclear Armageddon. By the way, every nuclear bomb is basically a man-made nucleosynthetic event, and then he should shut his fucking mouth. And that's why I'm called the tornado in the junkyard of young Earth creationism.
Well, I'd like to offer up something for us to debunk if we're going to do if we're going to take over for a little while and do a bit of a debunking stream, Tornado.
Yes.
Ranty released a video 2 weeks ago.
Ranty Flat Earth.
Oh,
where he tried to do an on-the-fly debunk of conspiracy cats.
That should be good.
I haven't even seen it, but I know that's going to end.
I haven't seen it, but it should be awesome.
Ranty is the best. He's probably the best person in the entire community for proving the globe because he does it so often in his life.
He does.
Is Ranty Flat Earth basically an anti-flat earther?
No, he's a flat earther.
I wish he was. If it just turned out one day that he's just been trolling us all the time and goes,
I'd be so down with that. He'd make himself a fucking hero, wouldn't he?
I'd love him. I'd love him if he did that.
But he won't.
And I was messaging.
I've seen him be stupid.
I was actually messaging Jen Morgan on Sunday about how the Phuket video about how sunrise proves a flat Earth, and how you'll never see sunrise on the bottom of how you'll never see the sun on the bottom of clouds because the sun is higher than them. Guess what I ended up seeing on Sunday of this week?
Oh, he did another one, did he?
Well, no, I'm talking about the one we debunked on movie night.
Oh.
I was seeing sunlight on the underside of the clouds overhead on
Yes,
Sunday.
well, after we'd finished our stream. Yes. I saw that post. It's like, yeah. But I mean, he was so fake about it because he started his video after the sun had already risen and was partially above the clouds anyway. So he must have been there to set up his camera when it was lower and you could actually see the sun shining up underneath the clouds, but chose not to display that. So how dishonest is Phuket word? How dishonest do you have to be to do that?
And that's why I call him fuckwit.
Fuckwit word. Yes. Dave asked me a question. How do you make OBS play an element intermittently? You have to set up an another thing to trigger it, usually. Or I guess you could do it with timers. There are timer functions in OBS. But it depends what sort of intermittent you're talking about. There is there's a really handy little plugin for OBS that lets it watch the data that's in a text file, and if the data in the text file changes, it enables the element. So what you actually could do is use a DOS script to do a countdown, and then at the end of a minute, it changes the content in that text file, and then that causes OBS to do the other thing. So that's one way you could do it.
Oh yeah, I see that's a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Randy.
The other thing is, Nerdy sent me a link earlier about a whole heap of command line apps that let you control things through WebSockets, so you can actually send WebSocket commands from the command prompt. You could do the same thing from that and do it as a WebSocket control. We're using timers in a DOS batch file.
Dave, you don't have to say what it don't say what it is. But was this what you were discussing in the private group earlier? Just out of interest. Don't have to say exactly what it is on stream, but
you're talking to
I think that's what he's working on. No, something else by the sound of it. Okay.
It's nothing fun. And now I want to know what you're working on, Dave. You'll have to tell me later. As in, I want to know what both things are.
Don't get out of bed, Dave.
Dave's still there.
He's in bed. So yeah, I can take over for a while if you don't want to keep going, Linda and Morton. Or if Jeff wants to take over, I don't mind.
Problem is, I'd sooner you did it because I would I might have to shoot off like rather suddenly in about an hour or so. So depending on whenever this thing arrives or not. So
what has Dave done?
What have Dave done? That's always a dangerous question. A bit loaded.
Okay. Describe element add. Okay, he's just testing something like that. So
Yeah. Okay. So he wants it to can pop up every minute or so. Yeah, you should be able to do that with a timer, Dave. Because you can set something so it only happens every so many milliseconds or seconds. There are ways to add those timer elements in so they trigger after each other, and then you can have the thing only happen after that length of time. There are also add-ons for doing that, for holding the stream over as a longer timer. So you just send your element on a loop, but the loop has a delay in it. See. But yeah, there's lots of ways you can do it. But you could also have multiple ones triggered remotely from a random number generator.
Ooh,
which triggers a change to data files.
YouTube has Earthstorm for free. Cool. I love that movie.
So there's a couple of ways you could do it. Yeah, you should be able to trigger from a loop delay. So within OBS, because you can have elements that start after. I mean, you've used delays before for other things, but there are ways to extend the delay. I know the internal time delay. I think it's 500 milliseconds is the maximum on a single delay function, but there are actually ways to make that longer. The other way is to put blank video in front of it, especially if it's a video element for the length of time that you want your gap to be. Remember, it's a compressed video file, so it's not going to be particularly big. So you actually pad the thing out to give it a longer delay. And just keep it playing the whole time. Yeah, there's a few ways to do it, but yeah, you could have random triggered ones as well, quite easily from either a simple Java app that triggers it.
By the way, Angie is awake now.
Or whatever. Who's awake? Angie's awake. Yay, Angie!
Hello, Angie.
I don't know that she's actually in chat, but she's in.
No,
I assume she's in Twitter.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Just showing Angie what we built for her.
Cool. She'll like it. So yeah, I'm happy to take over for a while on the run. Maybe I could. I'm pretty sure if we do a debunk, or if we just shoot the breeze for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't know. Did you want to try? Do you want to debunk Randy?
Yeah,
I'm not really much of a debunker, but my dad. I'll just take a look at it.
Oh, you still pull the shit out of him and have a giggle.
Hold on, yeah. I'm just going to go off stream a second, all right? So,
no worries.
Available.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm basically the tornado in the junkyard of creation. Basically, I have the skills to put together. Could Lego be considered a junkyard of parts?
Probably, depending on if you're building your own thing or if it's for a kit. If it's a kit, that's not really a junkyard, is it? So
Yeah, I basically had a box of Lego pieces, and I assembled a Empire State Building sort of thing out of them.
Oh, cool.
Take care, everyone. There we go.
It wasn't very accurate considering I didn't have very many things to build with, but it's kind of there. It's got the same base.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I guess that would make me.
You know,
a
I'm not
tornado
saying
in a
anything
junkyard.
mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So yeah. Send me DM and we'll talk.
But yeah,
Anyways, yeah, send me a DM. I mean, Captain Jerk. Oh. I mean, Captain Jerk. Oh, not to worry. Not to worry. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh,
Okay.
I was assuming.
So,
I was assuming. Not to worry. It's all good.
so do we just do a stream straight from StreamYards as a bit of a fun thing?
Yeah, just
for
be
different?
more.
I think I might do that rather than muck around in OBS for it.
Yeah, we
Even
can
though it looks nice.
StreamYard.
Yeah, I could just stream StreamYards, yes, straight from OBS, but I mean, yeah. Given the hassle I had the other day, it might be easier not to do it that way and just share video. Oh, if I share video, it's not necessarily going to show out well for the people watching, is it?
We do have a bit of an update on the amount.
Oh, yeah?
And unfortunately, it hasn't changed since Angie went to bed. We are a little over.
It hasn't. Well, it has because Lucy donated at least, and there was.
Yeah, and Hobbs donated.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but that's what.
Maybe the website just hasn't updated.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
What does it say it's at now?
A little over 1,600. That's what Angie is saying.
Yeah, it should be well over that.
Yeah.
Okay, just from the people I know who donated. So maybe it just hasn't updated the total properly or something. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah.
So are we gonna do a debunker or something?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind. We'll wait till Jeff cuts back, and we'll wait until we well, we have to. Linda and Morton are still running the show here, so.
Are we? Have we been?
Yeah, just alive.
I didn't even notice. Oh well.
Are we?
Well, usually. Oh, we're live. Oh my.
Oh my. Oh.
Yeah, you're still live.
No, it's okay. You can take over, Jen, if you want to.
Yeah, that's fine.
will have to make
Yeah,
some
well,
stuff.
I'm pretty sure you don't want me running a debunking stream in here, so yeah, I will.
We have
I'll get something going here. Give me a second. I think I'll just do a normal StreamYards one.
We're gonna have to go outside and do some cooking.
Yeah.
On the bar.
Hey, I'm back.
Are we?
Yeah.
We're not
That's
gonna.
what-
Oh,
We're gonna have some chicken. But we
What's
can
the-
we can stop by your stream, Jen.
Yep.
Yeah, at least be in the chat, even though we're outside. No problem.
That's why I didn't really want to host this stream, because I think I've got food coming in anywhere in between, well, in about half an hour to an hour or so. So
All right. Well, I've got this stream come. It's creating. Okay.
Yes.
Into there and turn that off. Okay.
So Angie is checking it right now.
All right. No worries. Add myself into there. Okay. I will. All right. I shall dump this into movie night for you, Tornado, and anyone else in there who wants to hop in.
yay!
And I won't bring anyone in yet until we're ready to go. And where are you, Jeff? That would be Jeff. There we go. A couple of people there. So
you sent us the link. Did you say, Jen?
Oh,
Yeah, I did send you a link.
We got
Sorry.
some news now.
Oh, hello. Hold on. Before we go
Yeah.
any further.
Are you ready for the news?
It's
Yeah.
Angie just wrote back to Linda. Oh, more than 2,000 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Brilliant.
are fucking amazing. I told you.
All right, let's try and get it to 3,000. Just come on. Jen's on Jen's screen. Come on.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
as long as we can get.
I am so proud of everyone. Okay.
Oh,
people just share stuff. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
All right, I will get my thing. I will find the link to the stream, even though it's created. I
see it, Jen, but obviously we'll let this one shut down first before we hop
will
over.
wait till this one's done, and then so I will grab the link here. Get a shareable link. All right, and I will.
Put it in the chat.
I will pop it in the chat here so that people can come across. There we go. There's a link to the next one. I will also put it in my Twitter.
Yes.
Oops.
So should I log into the other StreamYard then?
Yeah, it'll be in StreamYard. I'll just do it from StreamYard. It's easier than me trying to fit.
Okay,
Last minute stuff is so hard to do.
I'll hop into your StreamYard, okay then?
Yeah, we'll do it in the other one because I'm gonna.
I guess I'll take it from here then.
Yep.
See ya. See you on the other one.
See you in a minute.
Just for a short few minutes. It's okay. It's via the phone. We understand.
All right. I tweeted that out. Awesome. I will bring you in a minute because I don't want echoing going off on the other stream. Tornado. So give me a moment. So yeah, I've chilled this out. Please, people, if you're not going to follow over to do the see the bit of fun and going nuts at a stupid flat earther, whilst we continue to shell out Angie and try and get us some more help. There's the link for Angie now if anyone's capable of spotting it. And as I have constantly said, if you do not have the spare cash for this, do not donate. There are many other ways you can help, like retweeting the streams, sharing it out with other people who haven't come in and been part of this, and just saying to Angie that you're there to help.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be done. The money that we've raised, over $2,000 now, is the icing on the cake.
Wait a minute.
Angie says she's going to try to come in on her phone.
Oh, hello.
Oh, so she's going to join us in here?
If she can.
Cool. She's more than welcome to join mine too. I know Angie likes to do a debunking.
Yeah, but if she has to do it on her phone, it's probably going to be a bit...
Yeah, no, it's a bit harder doing it on the phone. So.
Computer, I guess.
That's probably a bit... Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So to Tornado, who's waiting patiently in the other StreamYards, I'll be there as soon as I can, but it looks like Angie might be joining in here. So if you want to say hi to Angie, Tornado, hop back in.
Well, it was last minute.
Yeah.
It was just... Let's see if she gets here. If she can.
See if she can get here. If not, if she can...
Hello.
Sorry about that.
Hello again.
By the way,
If she can't get here and she's able to later, she can hop in on my stream.
Here's hoping Angie gets in here soon.
Waiting.
Yeah. Oh, we've got time.
If she can. If she can't, we might just end it and go make some dinner and pop over to Jen's channel. Let's see.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's so exciting.
Ooh.
Will she be able to?
Waiting. Why am I looking there? It's over there.
Oh, yeah, you have to look right. Yes, otherwise you might miss it.
Don't look at the phone.
Don't look at the Twitter.
Yeah.
Actually, you might need to have it up there because that's probably what she's going to tell you if she can't join. If she can't.
It is
Face.
Face. There we go.
There we go. I'll keep an eye on it. You keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on this.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
What? Yes, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, Angie doesn't even know that I've been writing to her too on your Twitter thing.
No.
Waiting with bated breath.
Oh.
Oh, she can't get the StreamYard to work on her phone.
Oh.
So, I suppose.
But if she figures it out later, she can
definitely
hop in on mine. I will dump the link in for mine if she wants to hop in later.
By the way, a bit of tea in Danish, guys.
Yeah.
I noticed you guys had a picture of a tornado on your thing. Was that prophetic of me joining in, or what?
No, it's because Angie was hit by a tornado.
Ah, sorry, my bad.
I didn't know.
Well, not
you
her
wanted-
personally,
I didn't
not her
even
physically,
know
but
you
her house.
joined tornado.
Yeah, I've explained this about 6 times, Tornado.
And my name is Linda.
Tornado knows that, but it's your channel name, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, she'll come in the side chat. Okay.
Well, I might get the other one up and started so that you guys can go and do what you need to do. This has been awesome. That model is fucking amazing, guys. Brilliant stream.
I like it now. I was a bit
10 out of 10.
I just sort of look at. I finally worked out it's a Lego ISS. It's like I was looking. I don't remember what it was. It's like,
Really?
what is
Yeah,
this?
it's so detailed it
very
looks like
small.
the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to make it full
Lego.
screen again so that everyone can have another good look at it?
Lego.
Here we go.
There it is.
I always loved Lego, but it's got so much better since I was a kid.
That is fucking awesome. That you should be so proud of that. I just love it.
Yeah, well, it's just plastic.
But it's brilliant.
It is
I mean,
cool.
yeah, it's
I love
plastic,
it.
but it just looks awesome.
And it's so much better when you can see it IRL right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of meh about it when I watched people build it, but now that I've built it myself, I love it. It's really good.
I've got my large-scale Saturn V in my closet.
Oh yeah.
But that's not Lego, is it?
No,
Because-
they have a 1969-piece Lego Saturn V.
I
have that currently assembled in my closet with the lem inside its
cool.
little bearing.
Now we just need to CGI that somehow to keep the flat Earth scam going. A bit longer.
Well, we
Love
already have the proof right here. It's only built with Lego. It's a drone.
Yeah.
Angie in the chatty. Yay.
Angie! Hey, my lovely.
Hey, you gotta make it big again.
Hello.
Again. Big. Angie needs to see it again.
Hi, Angie.
We did do this for her.
And look at this, Angie.
Looky, Angie. It's the ISS.
She just says I had to.
And we actually figured out that I might have, if not beaten Simon Dan, gotten damn close to it.
Oh, I think you probably did. Which is awesome, Morton. That's absolutely amazing. Angie, it has been our absolute pleasure. You are an important part of this community, and doing this for you has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
We love you.
We
hope the best for you. We hope that you get through this brilliantly, and everything we can do to help you, we're trying to do. And that's from the whole community, not me personally. Me personally, exactly the same.
I cannot imagine how scary it must have been. That's just mind-boggling. I just rolled out of bed, went on YouTube, and I was about to watch some Rich Rhetoric stuff. And while I poked Rich Rhetoric stuff, I saw Junk Shop stream, and I read it, and I just what? And I just had to go to Junk Shop stream.
Yeah.
To figure out what was going on. I was just.
And then, of course, they had problems with their stream, which was frustrating.
Yeah,
Angie tried to go live again, and then it just went. It went.
Yeah, no, it died.
And Angie, Julie, sorry.
Julie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just died within a minute.
Yeah.
So after we got off, after you brought yours to an end.
After I finished, yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, the next stream is on Jen's channel.
I have put the link in there. Hopefully I've still got it here.
Yeah, do it.
No, I don't. I've got the wrong link.
I'm pretty sure of it.
It's in my Twitter. Give me a sec.
It's still in my chat. I can still see it.
Yeah, I just got to find it.
Just stick it in there again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Headache. Killer headache.
Copy that.
I think Dave's put it in the chat, hasn't he?
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, Dave beat you to it, yeah.
That's all right. I find it. I'm not used to chilling myself with the chat thing, so I didn't have that saved. So, all right, I'm going to head over there and start getting that going with Tornado. You have the link there, Scammer. If anyone else wants the link to chat in, bearing in mind that it is going to be a debunking stream and these get rowdy and raucousy, especially with Tornado.
Hey!
Am I wrong, Tornado?
Hey, no, not really. I
Sorry?
treat Prism like a punching bag.
Yes, I know you do. So if anybody's feeling up to joining in on that, yeah, but
I believe we're having
Ranty's fair game.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of fun at Ranty's expense, I believe.
Yeah, so we will see you guys over there. I'm going to head out now. We're going to get the other one going. I'll leave it to Linda and Morton to close this one off. And when you guys are ready, get over. Did you want to join in, Justin, or?
Sure, I can. I still got time to hop in.
All right, I will grab that and I will post it in our private chat here. There you go. That's the link to the other StreamYards.
I'm going to drop out now myself, whatever. I'll
and I will see you over there, Jeff. And Tornado's already over there, so we'll give the reins back to you, Linda and Morton. Thank you so much. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for having me, guys. We hope to see you over at the other one, and yeah, be awesome and keep supporting each other. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Yeah.
Party on, but keep 6 feet.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah, you know.
Right, I'm going to drop as well, guys. Thanks for having me in.
See you guys. I'm heading over to
Thank you
Jen's
for coming, Jeff.
Yeah, no worries.
And thank you, Justin.
See ya.
It was nice to see you. Right, and now we're the only ones left.
Oh yeah. So, I think this might be a good time to end. We have to do some cleaning up and cooking.
Yeah, and Amiga Nuts. Angie's actually over 2K now.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's all in one day.
All in one day, yeah.
I love you guys. I do. I love you.
We did an amazing job.
Yeah, it's just.
And we're not done.
No, we're not done yet, are we? It's just perfect.
And Angie, you remember only to join in streams if you're feeling up for it. If you're not, then don't come.
There you go.
Just be in the chat. You have to rest.
Yes. Oh, and we have it right now up there.
Yeah.
A linky doodle, and we should probably end this now because Jen is taking over.
Yeah.
Jen's little corner. Go to her channel and have some fun over there.
Yeah.
I seriously think it will be fun.
Go and see some debunking.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's end it and
Yeah.
go ignite the barbecue
Yes.
and get some chicken done.
Yeah. And see you guys.
See you guys.
You're awesome.
Awesome.
Love you all.
Awesome.
Bye. Take care.